Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Bonfire Racing League here at Michigan International Raceway. My name is Zach Panzarella, and I have a very special guest with me here today. This is the 5th anniversary of the Bonfire Race League. This race here is today, so I only felt like it was appropriate to bring the admin of Sunday and the guy who's making it all possible right now, Kevin Kyle. How you doing today, Kevin?
Hey, doing good, Zach. How about yourself, man?
Doing good. Excited to be here. 5 years of this league. What an incredible accomplishment it is for BRL to do that. I mean, definitely one of the longest standing leagues I've ever had the privilege of racing in or covering. And I really can't think of a better track. And look at the weather today. It is gorgeous. So how you feeling about this one? What are you expecting here in Michigan? And what do you have to say about this league and how long it's been together?
Yeah, Zach, we were here celebrating our 5th anniversary of the BRL Bonfire Racing League. 5 years ago, I believe to this day, is what our late founder, Dennis, I know we'll talk about that later, but Dennis was telling me this was his 5th anniversary to the date, I believe, for them starting up the anniversary, of the league. So yeah, this race meant a lot to Dennis, and we're just here for 200 laps here at Michigan. It's going to be pretty warm. The race is going to start around 2 o'clock. Qualifying right now is probably about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and I think track temp got up to 120 here. So definitely very hot here at the Michigan International Racetrack. And yeah, just really proud of everyone. A lot of the guys, I've only been here for 2 years maybe, and really a lot of the mainstay guys that have always been racing with us week in and week out are the ones that make this league possible. So just a big shout out to everybody coming together, and especially under these circumstances this morning. Just want to thank each and every one of you guys for being there as we try to get through this difficult time there.
Just to clarify, we're doing 200 miles, not 200 laps, my friends.
Yes, sorry.
That would be an adventure. We would miss the cup race altogether after this. But yes, today's race is really also all about Dennis Puckett. We lost him earlier this week unexpectedly. And yeah, this was his idea. He was the one who realized that this is going to be a 5-year anniversary race. And this race is, while it's very special, it definitely feels a little bit empty without Dennis here with us. So we're thinking about the Puckett family. Our thoughts and prayers are with all of his family, his friends, everybody in the BRL, the MRL, and every other league that he raced in, and everyone who had the privilege of knowing him or sharing the track with him. We lost a great one this week, and someone who played a huge role in this league, and someone who founded this one. And it goes without saying, Kevin, we would not be here enjoying this Sunday mornings without Dennis Puckett.
Yeah, that's right there, Zach. Well said. Yeah, I started out with Cav Broadcasting is how I got my foot in the door, and then they broadcasted this league, Bonfire Racing League, and I thought it looked really cool, and then I got the itch to start racing in it, and that's how it kind of all started, was from those humble beginnings of learning how to do all this stuff and do streaming and broadcasting, and still trying to figure out how to race, obviously. But yeah, just shout out to Dennis for creating that community, bringing us all together, and giving us a place to look forward to race every Sunday morning. So, and speaking of that, Zach, so I believe we were talking about we're going to do a silent lap 12 for Dennis, and we're also doing a missing man formation at the beginning of this race. So just things to keep in mind there as we go on. But Zach, I'm going to bring up the standings for the Pro. I'm going to let you go over, kind of see what you think of it. This is after Nashville, because I need to get the SDK set up, because I do not see it.
You got it. So here we are with our standings after Nashville, and I believe, yeah, these aren't including a change that we will talk about shortly, but we did see Dave Medina somehow, some way, collect the win last week. What an unbelievable drive that was from Medina. With Landry with his worst race of the season by a mile last week, and that's going to keep him in second place, but the gap has opened up quite a bit. As you can see there, I can also see SDK has showed up. Good job, Kevin.
Okay.
And beyond that, I mean, that's a big thing, though. We're racing Winston Cup format here, so those 73-point gaps that you see in the points, that is significant. So Landry needs to start, even though we're still early in this season, this being only, I believe, round 4 or round 5.
This is round 4. This is week 4.
Round 4, I'm sorry. This is round 4. So even now, though, you got to start paying attention to that. You got to make sure that you are maximizing your points every chance you get. However, this will be the last week after, or the next time we see the standings, that drop race that these drivers get will be included. So that 73 points will likely go down pretty significantly as long as Landry doesn't do that again today. So with that said, and with that drop race coming in, you could see a lot of this mix up. Currently, you have Kelly in third, Moral in fourth, and Lynott in fifth. And over there, the points are extremely tight. You see only 2 points separating Lynott and Kelly. So do not be surprised if you see all that mix up today after that drop race and today's results. David Brenner in 6th, Nick Mills in 7th, Joseph Volpus in 8th, Kevin Kyle in 9th, Owens 10th, Sully 11th, and Malarkey, who I believe has missed 1 or 2 races this season. That's why you see him there. Once that drop race comes in, I think he will be a little bit higher up in that running order. So we told you guys there was going to be a little bit of a mix-up, and there is. Let's just go ahead and pretend those top 2 guys aren't there, because they have been promoted to the Pro Series, as you may have seen leading up to this race in that little news box. Brandon Shelton and Jax Duvall, during in the week leading up to this race, were let known, as was the rest of the league, that they have been promoted to the Pro Series. That was something that these drivers were warned about. That was something that we always knew was going to be a potential. If we saw the running order not delivering that parity that this league is designed for, that was going to be a potential change that the league was going to make. So that was one. And with that said, that means effectively Tommy Fox is our AM championship leader right now, and Jose Medina gets to skip the line all the way to second place. So Jose Medina all of a sudden finds himself on a podium step, and next to him, just one step down, is someone who has led a lot of AM laps this season and been in position to win a couple of these races, and that's Michael Serra. So, Kevin Kyle, do you know what was going through the mind of Kevin Kyle when he decided to move up Brandon Shelton and Jax Duvall?
Yeah, well, Brandon's been just setting the world on fire, and that's probably on my fault not having him up at the pro at the beginning, but we just weren't sure about his availability. But he's been making an effort to make it every week, and we're gonna award that by moving him up. He's been doing really well, really consistent. And then Jax, I just feel Jax has a lot of skill. We've seen him win in other leagues, and I was joking around with him, I'm like, hey, if I'm up in pro, then you've got to be up in pro, because I know he's a lot better than me. That's not saying a whole lot, but still, I know Jax. He's won races, and big races, by the way, and I think he's just as good as any of these drivers that are in pro. And this is all just for the sake of competitiveness in the AM series. I'm trying to incentivize guys to make it closer in AM, and I just felt it'd be fair, and just for the sake of competitiveness. But Zach, we got 2 minute 45 left in qualifying. So just real quick, that is probably the breaking news there with the AM series. There is the big shakeup moving up Brandon Shelton and Jax. But yeah, that should really make the competition here going into the last. We're almost a third of the way through the season already. I mean, this week's week 4, next week's week 5. That will be a third of the way. And then remember, 2 races you need to qualify to be a part of the midseason madness bracket, and that's just basically a bracket like NASCAR is going to be doing, where we pit the number 1 seed against the last seed, and you just need to have 2 races to qualify for that, so everyone can get involved with that.
That in-season tournament was a lot of fun last season, so I'm excited to follow that again. And yeah, I mean, I think I made the comment the first race I broadcasted in this league this season, which was race 2, that when I was looking at the AM and Pro roster, I think I remember saying, oh, Jax is an AM, okay. So yeah, not surprising to see him moved up. I would agree with you that his talent level is that amongst the pros, and Brandon Shelton's having a better season than him, so that would make sense.
And it was just more of award. I'm sorry, I was just more of awarding. I lost my train of thought. I was going to piggyback on something you said there, but sorry about that, Zach.
But no, and yeah, I think both those guys are capable of winning overall races, so I think that will be something that we see come to fruition this season. But let's take a look at the team championship on screen now before qualifying completes right now. And it got a lot closer, especially up top. You see Fokum and GSR, Gulf Coast Racing, only about 30 or just under 30 points separating them now. And that was a lot more than that last week, so that's cool to see right there. Behind them, you see Pony Up Motorsports. They're only about 300 points behind GSR. But again, that drop race is about to hit, so this is about to get switched up. And I think we're going to see Ignition Point, 7 Motorsports, Animal House, and EuroLeague all a lot closer than we see them right now. So get ready for that. I'm excited to see what that shakes up to when this one completes. But qualifying seems to have wrapped up, and no surprise who's on pole, Kevin.
Yeah, Jason Landry laying it down again. I believe this might be his 2nd or 3rd pole this season. So Jason just doing an amazing job with speed right away from the get-go. Every race so far. It's been a couple of intermediates. Where else were we this? I'm drawing a blank for some reason, but we were at
Nashville.
Kentucky, Nashville. He had speed there. Charlotte.
On the pole,
So a lot of intermediates so far. So Jason doing a great job there, even on a concrete track. So yeah, Jason definitely coming each week with a lot of speed.
Yeah, he's really been the pole man all season so far. So quick in qualifying. But also, the guy who's been sharing the front row with him, it seems like virtually every week, has been Dave Medina, and it's no different story today. So Medina is going to be up front with him. And the row behind them will be the 11, Joe Volpis. Still getting used to seeing him in that number. The 20, Nick Mills, will be in 4th place. Some controversy arises between him and Owens this week, and some differing opinions about how that last lap went. But Nick Mills back here with just as much speed as he had last week. Jared Kelly going to be in 5th place. In 6th, it's going to be Mandela, Ricky Mandela. 7th belonging to Michael Serra. 8th, David Owens, and 10th, the new pro driver of Jax Duvall.
Yeah, and then we'll have David Brenner and Joseph Usikness. I mess his name up every time. Going to be your 6th row. Row 7, Paul Danny, Tommy Fox. Row 8 is going to be Brandon Finley and Kevin Kyle. Row 9 is going to be Jose Medina and Gerald Rose. Row 10 is going to be David Buell and Joey Stiers. And rounding out the rest of the field, you got Brandon Shelton, Zach Clausen, Mike Benton, Chris Smith, Tim Darby, Matt Schofield, Sam Milliken, and Stephen Neal bringing up the rear as we have a 28-car field here this morning here at, sorry, I hear my wife yelling, at Michigan. Sorry.
You're good. But yeah, another really, really good-sized field here at, here in the BRL. Week after week, these guys showing out, waking up early, putting the work in, and putting on a show. As we are rolling off, and like we mentioned, we are going to have a special tribute to Dennis Puckett here on this first.
Yeah, we're going to go ahead. What we did, we just, we got everyone kind of together, and I'm going to try to concentrate and get this shot looking decent, but it's called the missing man formation. Basically, Jason Landry got pole, and he's going to choose the inside lane. And we're just going to have him move back a little bit and leave a spot there for Dennis as if Dennis had the pole. And we're going to do a lap there just in honor of him and just to show gratitude there for Dennis. I think right now we're just getting the cars grouped up together, and you can see there on the inside, someone's already leaving room there for Jason to back it on up. But yeah, just take this time and just to remember Dennis and everything he's meant to the league. And just sad news. All of a sudden, you don't realize how much someone means to you until they're gone. That's kind of a story as old as time in life. But just to remember that, to make sure you talk to your loved ones and make sure you talk to them with love and respect, because you never know when you might lose them. As you see there, Jason moving back to the 2nd row and leaving that spot for Dennis. As we're going to take a lap around here at Michigan and just kind of let this sink in, and we can just kind of maybe just take a moment of silence right now. I know we're going to do one at lap 12, but let's just kind of watch and take in the sights and sounds here as here at Michigan. Thank you guys for all doing that for us this morning. And we're taking a shot of Nick Mills there. He was able to make it down to the service along with Jared Kelly in the number 55. But you can see there Nick running Dennis's decal on the front of his hood. Also, you can see a lot of Dennis's old paint jobs out on the track. A lot of things that he was affiliated, and that's going to be like the Talkies car, the number 12. So just shout out to everyone coming together this Sunday morning and honoring Dennis as best as we can. I know there's not a whole lot we can do, but everything like this little means a lot. So, all right there, Zach, as they're coming out of turn 2, we're all lined up, and we'll be going green as the pace car lights are off here at Michigan.
Yep, beautiful gesture there by the league. An empty spot in the grid, an empty spot in our hearts right now, and an empty spot in BRL forever. But we're gonna do everything we can to honor and to honor the legacy that he's created here. He will always be missed. But let's have some fun, like he wants us to. And yeah, this is gonna be another competitive one. We are used to seeing these two up front, but you never know what can happen. Hot Michigan racetrack and an unpredictable one here too. So much room to race at this place. It welcomes 4 wide, and it's going to be interesting to see with an 101 lap race here, 200 miles. How early do these guys want to be aggressive? That with no fast repairs, unlike a lot of leagues where I think these guys are used to having one, you got to make this thing last, and you got to make it to the end. But for I believe the 3rd time this season, it's going to be the 56 Maple Leaf Canadian car of Jason Landry leading us to green with Dave Medina's outside, and Landry is off. Great start by Landry and Medina, and the 11 of Joe Volpes looking good too. And already you're seeing the power of the draft and how much room these guys are going to have to go at one another.
Yeah, they're side by side, almost 3 deep there, as you can see. The 84 Jacks of all 3 wide there with Michael Serra on the outside of the 27. Oh, was Ricky
Volpes
Mandela
using
against
the apron.
Oh, and they're already loose there.
Oh, no!
Yeah, that was the 84 Jacks Duvall, the 27.
And the 11 of Volpes.
And
the 11 of Volpes.
Yep. Let's take a look
And,
at Joe. Did Joe get any? No, I think no damage there to Joe in that Mustang. I don't think he hit a wall. So hopefully he'll be okay.
If he hit anything, it was another car, and it looks like the yellow is out right now, ladies and gentlemen. And I saw Volpes there using the apron through 1 and 2, which I was saying I didn't know you could do that. Maybe you can't, Kevin.
Yeah, the apron. I mean, that's where you lose the banking. So if you're running, I mean, it does have a little bit of banking, but it's just that the change in banking, obviously, from the apron to the on track is. But maybe that's a good. I mean, hey, if Joe was able to make it work, obviously something to look into for other restarts, maybe.
Yeah, we'll see if Joe's able to make it work at some point in this race. That was not that time. But another notable thing is our pole sitter Landry had already lost the lead, and not just that, he's not even starting on the front row this time around. He'll be all the way back in 3rd place. That was half a lap was all it took for Landry to fall all the way back to 3rd place there.
Yeah, I think the restart there, I know we weren't quite focused on it because I was trying to line up that shot for the 27 and the 3 wide, but yeah, Jason maybe just not had the great start, or maybe David had a better push on the outside off that restart. But yeah, we're working on the replay stuff for you guys. I know it's been asked for a lot, and I know I'd like to have it too, just so we could just go back and see exactly what happens with some of this stuff. But we're doing our best we can, and yeah, we are working on it. So appreciate everyone still tuning in and all the support there for the network. As yeah, I think everyone's gonna stay out here. I think I topped off.
See Kyle coming in. Yeah, I see Kyle and everyone involved with the wreck. Duvall's in. The 11 of Volpes is in. I see Steve Neal. It looks like Chris Smith as well. But what I'm seeing from everybody, I think everyone involved in the wreck, making sure that they just don't have damage, or making sure the situation isn't worse than it may be. And yeah, topping off, why not? Especially if you're further back in the field, and if you just didn't like what you saw in front of you, you might be thinking, you know what? I'll wait. I'll let them figure this out, and then I'll work my way through the field. But
yeah.
Lights are still on the pace car too, so yeah, might as well.
I think it was 36 lap fuel stint. So I think when Kevin came in, he was thinking if it goes green, because we do have green flag races, but lately it's been a little more treacherous. I know we had a lot of cautions at Nashville, and already starting off this race with one early caution. So, but I think if it was to go green from here, that would make it a 2-stop for Kevin, and I think he was just making sure if it did go, he had it covered.
Yep. Is that a carbon fiber pattern on that 31?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That is sharp. That
Yeah,
is
looking
sharp.
good. Yep.
I like that. Some weight reduction there on that 31 race car.
Yeah,
Usually you just put carbon fiber on the front lip and the diffuser, but no one thought, what if you just slap that on the entire car?
Yeah, no
That's some good weight
costs
loss.
no cost spared there for the 31.
No, it must be nice to have that budget. You guys must be ruining less cars than Daily Drivers Inc. is.
There you
'Cause,
go.
Damn, I could not afford that with how many cars I'm paying for.
So yeah, like you mentioned, Jason's going to start back here on the second row alongside his teammate Jared Kelly in the 55. Big mover and shaker there is Joseph. He's going to kill me because he told me how to say his name, but Joseph Yunukis. He's up. He's up 6 spots from the beginning. So great job there by him, already capitalizing on a huge gain there off the start. Paul Ferdani up 6 spots. Great job there by him. Another couple big movers and shakers. Brandon Shelton up 4. Zach Clausen up 4. Sam Milliken moved up 6 spots. Michael Serra though -15. Jack Savall -16. And Joseph Vulpes obviously getting some damage repaired.
Yeah.
Losing
Minus
25 spots. Yeah.
Yeah. He is minus all the positions as Joe Vulpes. But yeah, definitely JY. That's what I'm calling you right now until I get that last name down on Pat. JY sounds awesome. Great restart from him, but yeah, a lot of shaking up in just a half lap's time really gets me excited to see what's going to happen here in this restart. As you see, I'm not sure if it's more topping off or more damage repair from a few of our cars in the back there, catching the field again and then take that rear of the field penalty. Why not? All they have to do is start single file as opposed to double file in the back of the field. So it may just be another top off. It might be worth it at that point. But pace car will be pulling off this time. It's going to be David Medina, who is our control car. Nick Mills will be on the outside this time instead of Landry. And we'll have to see how this one goes. Landry, obviously, in that first restart, not having control of the restart being the start of the race. This time it will be Medina instead of the flag man. So I would expect a better start for our leader. But let's see how that draft plays in. As there goes Medina, and just like we predicted, Medina with a huge jump, as it's going to be Landry and Mills side by side going into turn 1. And this is about to get interesting. We'll see if these guys can keep it green and keep it clean this time.
Yeah, they're side by side all the way back for a couple five or six rows there as guys are jockeying position here. The outside seem to run a little bit better, especially off restarts and whatnot. As there you see Mills making the chance for the lead there.
Nick Mills is going to already look to the inside, and it's a huge run out of 2, and he's going to duck to the inside. Oh, he's going to touch. They touch. Medina all the way up the track. That's going to cost Medina a few positions, and Nick Mills says, it sucks for you. And Nick Mills is going to take the lead of this race, and Medina is not. He may fall back to 4th here as they are 3 wide down the front stretch.
Yeah, 3 of the big guys in the league all side by side here entering turn 1. As you see, there's a newcomer of the 132 of Joseph there, making the outside line work, doing a great job as the 55 and 9 are side by side.
Oh, we got a loose car down the inside. Oh, man. We're going to stay green, and what a great recovery. Trying to put a name to that car right now.
That was Paul. Paul Ferdani there got loose but saved it.
That was Ferdiani. I apologize. Paul Ferdiani. Great save. He did not hit anything. He really didn't even go that far down the backstretch there. That's really the blessing of no grass there, or well, the wall being so far down. But Ferdiani going to live to see another day, and probably spooked him. May need some new pants, but will continue on this race.
Yeah, and now we got Jared Kelly doing a great job chasing down Nick Mills, looking underneath Mills right now as Jared's going to send her on in using that middle lane. And he did a great job there all day with a lot of speed, as now looks like he's got a nice little run on the inside against Mills.
Nice move by Kelly to get that position. He should have the angle here going through 3 and 4. This is essentially how Nick Mills got that position, but you saw him and Medina come together, and behind that you see Landry looking at the inside of Medina as well. Medina losing positions right now, but obviously we've seen this by design a lot of time with David. He is always quick on the long run, so don't get too excited when you see this guy falling through the field.
No, if you see David Medina falling through the field and like someone like David Owens, then you need to be aware because they are pretty well on saving tires and knowing what they're doing out there. So something to keep in mind. As you see Jared, though he's out to the races and with that clean air though, as they say, clean air is king. And you'll see how well Jared can use that fresh air out front to keep that car glued to the track.
Yep, David Medina definitely one of those things that if you are driving away from him, that does not mean you're doing something right. It oftentimes means you're doing something wrong and you're probably driving the car too hard. He'll see you again in 10 laps time, if not less. But right now, what an impression by Joseph JY. I'm going to stick with that right now. Just his 2nd or 3rd race in this league, and here he is in the top 5, racing the Godfather, the defending champion, for 4th place. Tons of speed in that 132 today.
Yeah, Joseph, I believe this is probably going to be his 3rd race, so he should be getting his normal number after this race. And he's looking good in that yellow, bright neon yellow Monster Energy car. And yeah, he's usually up there up front. It's something you've been noticing. He's running pretty well, using that very high line as you see him get atop that top seam. So Joseph really running quite well.
So Joseph looks like he's going to be the first one to try out. Really, that felt like the Larson line. That was all the way up to the wall. But the reason you do that, and you're seeing it right now, massive run down the front stretch, enough to pull him side by side again with Medina and then some. He actually had about a nose in front of him. And up front, you still have Kelly all over Landry for the lead here. And Landry's going to take back the lead. These guys are shuffling all throughout the field, and a lot of people too collecting those 5 bonus points they get for leading a lap, which is going to be big in this Winston Cup format, as Jason Landry is going to re-inherit the lead of this race. But Kelly does not want to let him have it. He is all over that 56.
Yeah, it's looking back a little bit further back. We see some close racing there between Paul Danny, David Buell, and Tommy Fox. Where else was I seeing? Jose Medina, Kevin Kyle, they're racing pretty tough, trying to get by the 27 of Sarah there.
So Medina, I think, with the newfound inspiration in this league, I mean, obviously a very motivated driver always, but now Medina, with that promotion of Jax Duvall and Brandon Shelton, like we talked about before the race, he now finds himself 2nd in the AM standing. So Medina, already a championship contender, but now very much one in points position to win that championship. So he really is going to want to put together some good finishes here. And the guys he's going to be paying the most attention to, someone that was already in an incident today, which is Sarah, and also the current new leader, Tommy Fox.
Yeah, and then a little bit behind them, there's Jack Savall, the number 84, newly promoted driver, running that beautiful Takis tribute car to Dennis with the decal on the front hood and on the side. So beautiful job there by Jack Savall. And he's getting chased down there by Gerald Rose. Jerry Rose has been doing a great job lately. He's only lost 3 spots from the beginning of this race, but what happened there? Oh, we got Eunuchus there, loaded down on the track.
Eunuchus another, we're seeing it again over and over again on lap 2. And Kyle, we got way too distracted with that action because that was lap 12. So let's go ahead and do the quiet lap here on lap 13 as they get ready to cross the finish line.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you guys for that. And hey, for what it's worth, Kevin, we still had Dennis's face on the screen on lap 12. But yeah, we're thinking about you guys. We're thinking about the Puckett family. And there will be a memorial race for him later on this season. So we are not done honoring Puckett in this league. And I would not be surprised if we talk about him every race this season.
Yeah, definitely. It's still fresh, just happened, but as we take a look at David Owens and that 8 running that Bucky's car, that was one of Dennis's favorite sponsors there, and so that's David Owens showing some love in that way. Also, new driver this season, not new driver, but first race this season, Joey Stuyerson in 23. You see him there in that Logitech light blue and black car running. Glad to have him back. Trying to convince him to come on back and run a few more races here in the BRL. So Joey, nice to see you out there on track today.
Yeah, Stuyerson with tons of speed. I've shared the track with him quite a few times, and that guy is no joke. He is really, really fast. But yeah, you see that Bucky's Bieber car right in front of him, the E8. I've never been to Bucky's, Kevin.
Yeah, I think I went once when I was driving through Texas, and it's just basically like a gas station, and you walk in, and it's like a buffet style of barbecue stuff. Like it's really good. But you go in there and they got it all ready to go.
I heard there's like brisket and all this other stuff. Like I gotta go one day.
Yeah, it's a quick hit. It's good. It's good if you're driving by and you want that you're hankering for some barbecue, I'd say.
I mean, who doesn't want some gas station brisket? Come on.
Oh, it's better than gas station sushi, though. So I mean,
That's so true.
So I'll take my
so many
chances.
friends who eat that, and I'm like, I don't want to share the car with you, dude.
Yeah,
Like,
I had a
oh
guy
my
offer
gosh.
me it at work, and I didn't want to be rude, and so I had to take it. And it was just like that
Wow.
awkward situation of, do I eat this? As we take a look here at Paul Danny, a lot of threes right there. You got 33 to 31 in the three,
Yep.
battling it out.
A lot of threes. The 27 right there, probably feeling a little bit left out is Sarah, but he's doing a great job recovering from that earlier incident, working his way through the field. Bertieni as well. We saw him get loose a few laps ago, and he's doing a good job recovering, getting that confidence back underneath him. What we're also seeing, Kevin, is just kind of what we do seem to see quite a bit in this league, and it's kind of different groups form as we get in these long runs. We start to see a little bit of separation, but always kind of like these jumbled up packs, as you see right there. Oh boy, the 33 and the 27 come very close together there on exit. But yeah, they're starting to see a little bit of separation, but still a good amount of battling throughout these different little mini packs.
Yeah, you start racing around people, you get, kind of on the same skill level or speed level or comfortableness with the track, and you start noticing that, you know what, I think I don't have my car numbers hidden on this, maybe.
No, they look good.
Okay, yeah, I think I'm okay. Okay.
Yeah. I see the beaver.
Good. But yeah, Joseph, the number 11 there, car, after that hit, he's definitely lost some speed. That car has been dropping like a rock right now. Joseph down 21 spots still, and not really has the speed in that car as he did earlier. So as you can see right there, he hits that wall, but there is damage on that right front from that earlier incident, and it's really slowing down that car, especially on this aerodynamic track.
Yeah, this is not a fun track to have damage like that. It really makes it a nightmare. It makes the car unpredictable. It's loose when it's tight, and it's tight when it's loose when it seems to have that type of damage. And look at that on the exits for Vulpes. That car just is desperate to leave him and spin out. Oh, man. And yeah, I mean, your numbers aren't messed up. Some people are just not running their proper numbers today, Kevin.
Well, and that was okay. We were wanting people to run. We were hoping, run the 12 on your car if you want, or things like that. So like you see some big logos there, like on Jax's car, it shows the 12. We wanted just to.
Yep.
We were letting them slide this week, just if anybody wanted to run anything.
A lot of hood decals bearing that Dennis Puckett decal, which is awesome to see as wow. Steyers and Medina just going for it right now. Man, that was a close one. And oh my gosh, we are 4 wide. This is some insane racing, and big hits. There, around goes the talkies. Oh man. Wow.
That was amazing. They almost made it work there, Zach, as they were 4 wide out of turn 2, and he just got ping-balled between the 2 cars there. But great job for like almost the whole turn. I was really impressed there. That's awesome. We'll have to make sure I go back and bookmark that, as that's going to bring out our second caution of the night of the day, as Tommy Fox gets the worst of that one.
Yeah, the amateur championship leader, the new one, Tommy Fox, they took a bite out of talkies there, did they not? Man, Tommy Fox got the worst of that, but they were putting on a show. Yeah, that one's going to be, there's a spoiler, that'll be on VRN's shorts this week, that 4 wide. That was awesome.
Yeah, that was awesome. I'll definitely make sure we get some footage of that one.
Yeah, that was a great move there, but as we saw, very, very hard to make work. And one thing that I'm going to just rant a little bit about Iris and Kevin, they need to add a 4 wide call, because they tell you 3 wide, and then all of a sudden you're like, wait, there's a 4th guy there. And that oftentimes is what creates those accidents. But you know what I'm also seeing here, Kevin, that 57 of Tommy Fox, that car is not turning.
No.
He's still on the track, and he's trying to bring him down to the pits. I think he doesn't want to take a penalty, but watch as he enters 3 here. He's going to really try to back it down this time, but it's just shooting up the track. Okay, there we go. A lot slower, but look at that. He's not able to keep it on the bottom of the racetrack as it shoots up the track there. Something seriously wrong with that 57. I see some damage on the driver's side. Right there it is, right there. Kind of bent in, but not anywhere near as bad as it would suggest how it's driving.
Right.
So we'll see how long he has to take in the pits here and how it looks. Because again, that 57 Tommy Fox in a great opportunity here to take home an amateur championship. Needs these points. As you've seen, Sarah already have recovered to 9th place. He is going to have a good points day today if he can keep that up. And Jose Medina so far has stayed out of trouble. And we have a lot of cars pitting. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I think the whole field pitted except for Jax Duvall there. So Jack's
Shocker.
Jack's trying to really change up the strategy here.
And someone did not like the cone and just sent the cone flying into the outfield or into the infield. So
They were
drivers gonna have to. So, oh, poor cone. Free cone though in the infield. Whoever wants it. Nothing like a free cone.
I see it right there, laying. Yep, that neon green on the dark green there.
Yep. Just asking to be taken. I love myself a free cone.
This is a great shot here we had earlier. I got to make sure on our next pit stops we get that shot from this angle because we had a nice shot of lots of the whole field basically just pitted. So, except for old Jax there. So Jax is gonna have his hands full.
I think Lynott may have stayed out as well.
I think you're right.
Entirely. Yeah. So these two, ever the fans of chaos and creating it, are about to create some for this whole field. It's gonna be Jared Kelly behind them. I believe the freshest tires will be Jared Kelly. Behind that will be Nick Mills, and then Dave Medina still holding tough in essentially the top 5. He will be likely very quickly. I am not a fortune teller, but I think this is not going to go amazingly for Lynott and Jax.
Well, Lynott had a 9.8 second stop. So
if
Jax had tough fuel, that's what I'm thinking is maybe it was just right sides.
Maybe, and Lynott is one of the best we've seen at being able to make those tires last and really find speed in cars with worn out tires. So Lynott is one of those guys that we can trust, and we know Duvall can do it as well. Love that Waffle House scheme that Lynott is running today as well, with the Dennis Puckett decal as well on the hood. Good looking paint scheme there from Lynott. And man, this is gonna be an intense restart though. Different agendas, different sets of tires, and a lot of fast guys up front. It's always interesting when the guys who stay out or do an alternate strategy are guys who have the speed to be up there anyway, and that definitely is Kyle Lynott and Jax Duvall. So we're gonna have to see what they can do with this. Michael Cera also got to keep your eye on. He is, I think, in position to win this AM race right now. He's been showing tons of speed. I'm also looking for Jose Medina, but our AM competitors, I think, excited and renewed with a new chance to win that championship right now with the promotion of Shelton and Duvall. But here we go. It's going to be Duvall on the outside, the control car for this one, electing to take the outside. See how well this strategy goes for the 84, and also he's going to have to watch that tire spin, going to have to keep it straight on those old and likely warmed up tires. Here we go, Duvall Lynott, front row here in Michigan. Duvall with a great restart on those old tires, blasts off right in front. And there goes Lynott as well with a good restart. So first and second on those alternate strategies, doing what they have to do as they enter turn 1 and 2 with Jared Kelly breathing down his neck as well as Nick Mills.
Yeah, I really enjoy Kyle Lynott's strategy there, taking 2, getting all that track position. Just see how much he can hold on to it and see if it's a net gain. Jared almost gets to that left rear. He hits the wall, slams it again.
Twice.
Yep. And there you see
Jared.
Mm-hmm. Joey Snyder's going down low, and they're avoiding that incident in case Jared was able to hang on to it, but he does a great job of hanging on to it as Brandon Shelton's going to run the outside, try to make it 3 wide there between David Buell and David Brenner, as now the pack is just swallowing up cars left and right.
Yeah, Jared Kelly doing the whole field a favor and making sure the wall is there. We can confirm it is, so they're going to have to look out for that on the backstretch. The racing is insane right away, and just as I presumed, on the bottom of your screen, you may have seen that was Tommy Fox exiting the pits, likely still having too much damage to have any confidence to try to stay with these guys at pace. Tommy Fox is going to try to get that car fixed and keep that championship lead, but here we go. Tons of intensity through this backstretch. I think I saw a car even disappear there for a second. I hope he blinked back. I don't know.
Yeah.
And we are 3 wide.
Yeah, that's I think Jared was having some issues there today with the connectivity as he blinked out a couple times, but he did go low and try to stay out of the way, and he did a great job not really ruining anybody's race there.
That's a classy move by Jared Kelly. Man, that is so stressful, especially early in these restarts at a track like this. Not something that anyone wants to deal with, so really, really cool of Kelly to be aware of that and stay out of the way, and he did just that. As all around him, though, we are seeing 3 wide, 4 wide, and these guys are making him work this time. No incidents yet, but wow, this field is shuffling up.
Yeah, that high line, you're trying to protect the high line, but at the same time, if you can make that lower line work and do basically slide job the guy out of exit, then find yourself back up is the way to make things happen. So if you're able to do slide jobs real well, then you have an upper hand here at this track.
Yeah, this kind of is the track for you if you have the guts and the ability to do slide jobs, because it is scary. You may be clear on corner entry, but you may not be anymore by exit, so you've got to make sure you get up there and cut off that air while you have an opportunity to. Up front, we still see Nick Mills actually has inherited that lead. He has taken it from Lynott But Lynott, as we presume, doing a great job maintaining that track position. Those 2 tires are working for him. However, on the flip side of the strategy of doing something different than the leaders, taking nothing like Duvall did, not working out anywhere near as well. I believe Duvall already, far outside the top 10.
Yeah, Jack's just hit 15th. So Jack's feeling the effect, but could pay off for him if he can hang around the field and not lose the draft, and maybe open for another caution, as we've already had 2 so far this race. So we'll see how things play out for Jax as the run continues.
Yeah, Jack's Duvall at this point probably just trying to stop the bleeding, not wanting to lose more track position than where he was running before this happened, before he went this strategy. And like we said, he likely doesn't have enough gas to go as long as these guys do either. So we're going to have to keep our eye on that 84 and see how this shakes out for him. But if the racing stays the way it is right now, he doesn't have a ton to be worried about, because these guys are going for it. And I would not be surprised if we find ourselves under the yellow flag again soon with the way this racing is going. As you see right there, Nick Mills and Lynott. Lynott just doing a masterful job on those 2 tires. He has ran Nick Mills back down.
Yeah, Kyle Lynott, kind of his MO there, able to make older stuff on older tires work really well for him. So,
Oh, loose there though.
Yeah. But Kyle, just something about Kyle and those old tires, he can really make them really work for him. As we believe, he took rights only is the call, and there he goes trying to make a move underneath Nick on only the right side tire change.
Kyle not going to go for that slide job you talked about, Kevin. Going to try to clear the 20, and it looks like he's going to be able to do it. Slide job by Lynott, and it works. And we'll see if Nick Mills wants the crossover here. He's thinking about it with a gorgeous run out of 3 and 4, but instead he's just going to push that 988. Lynott's going to lead that lap, collect himself 5 bonus points, and those 2 tires are working out. And I wonder if the rest of the field is taking notes right now and going, huh.
Yeah, from that shot, you can really see the different lines. Nick's coming off with more of like a late apex and cutting off the exit of turn 2. As we got a car. You can see a car way down on the inside there, further back in the field.
Ferdiani again. It looked like it was.
Yeah.
Oh man, Ferdiani struggling with the exit of 2 in this race, and you can still see those tires pissed off and mad at him. Oh man, that car is a loosey goosey, but Ferdiani again going to keep it out of the wall, do a good job. No harm, no foul yet for that 33. He's kept it green and he's kept it clean, and that's the race is not over him, but woof, I'm sure he's over that happening.
Yeah, car off exit. It was very deceptive on how much you could get. Yeah, how much throttle you could get out of it, because it was just a fine line, like any track. It is like any track, just that fine line of what's too much or not enough.
Look at Nick Mills here, looking at the inside of Kyle Lynott and saying, "I like that slide job you did. Let me try it out." Oh yeah, that was kind of cool and it worked. And there goes Nick Mills to the lead over Kyle Lynott. These guys are just slide jobbing each other over and over again. I'm getting vibes from like the IndyCar racing back in the day at this very track when they first introduced I think it was like that bigger wing, and they were just passing each other every other lap. Getting shades of Michael Andretti and Juan Pablo Montoya here with this race, and this is awesome.
There we see Kyle Lynott's 988 car, the 988. Once again, that's the suicide prevention hotline. Just remember, I know we had a loss there with Dennis, but nothing to do with that. But just saying, always just check in with your friends and family who are having a hard time or whatnot. It can make a difference. And as we're on board with Jason Landry right now, as he's trying to make a move around Kyle, as he gives him a little bump here, and he's going to use the high line and try to follow Nick Mills through turns 1 and 2.
Lynott's going to take that as an invitation to try the slide job. He's not going to be able to clear
Mills
Mills here. And, whoa, he gets ultra loose, and you see Landry tried to fill the hole a little bit, not able to do it. Owen says, okay, I'll do it then. He's going to go look in the middle. He's going to make himself the meat in the sandwich. And so here we go, Lynott, Owens, and Landry. Landry's got the top line. I think he's going to try to rip this corner as hard as he can. Owens not with anywhere near enough momentum, it looks like, to complete the slide job. So it looks like it should be Landry, and wow, still loose through the corner is the 988 of Lynott, having a hard time gathering up. And we're also seeing that, Kyle, when you have those loose moments, whether it be one that we saw Ferdiani have that was enough to make him go all the way down below the apron, or just a little one there like we had with Lynott, it does not make your tires happy with you, and you need to wait a little bit before you can go for it again.
Yeah, and you can just see that little slip up. It could obviously be an issue with the 2-tire stop, but as he gets loose again, there goes Kyle down on the inside.
That was a huge loose moment. Doing his best 33 impression right there. That was very good. And he saves it as well. Wow, those 2 tires there. They were working out great, but man, It is all falling apart for the 98, and it's all happening all at once. Man, that thing fell off a cliff.
And then now we look back up the front there. Nick Mills and Jason Landry battling out side by side for the lead. Jason Landry trying to work his way back up through the field and take over that lead position that he had from the beginning of that race, showing why he is the pole sitter here today at Michigan. As there's Owens on the outside in the number 8 car, also trying to make a move using that high line to his advantage. Yeah, great job there by Owens, though, holding on to it. It's okay to be loose. I just don't know how bad it hurts the tires, when you're loose up there.
Especially in that top lane. That top lane, we already know, likely worse on the tires than the inside is at these 2-mile tracks. You're kind of just trying to shortcut the track the best you can. As you see Landry and try to make that inside move, not able to complete it. What I'm also seeing here, Kevin, is that slide job move is far more possible, and it's been far more successful through 3 and 4 than it has been through 1 and 2. We might see it again through this lap again here. Here goes Landry, just really there. No forward momentum on the 20 to where he can slide up in front of him, but if he's able to say, his Mills gets a little bit loose. But watch this here. Oh my gosh, the 8's going to take the invitation. He's going to go all the way inside. Here we go, 3 wide for the lead.
David's got the entry speed on entry. Let's see if he's able to roll the corner. He gets really loose, gets back on throttle, going to slide back up the track. I know he has no problem. Probably going to get up in the 20 there from last race. Oh, it's a 23. Joey Cyrus takes the apron down low through the Geico restart zone and makes it a 3-wide move underneath Jason Landry. And he slides back up in front of the 56 of the inner in turn 1. But now look down your bottom of your screen. There is David Medina now working that bottom apron line, as that seems to be a very competitive line now, as maybe the track's cooling off. And there's Brandon Finley in that target card at number 212 at the very bottom of your screen, as Nick Mills holds onto this lead here as they enter turns 3 and 4 here at Michigan.
Wow, that was an amazing sequence there, especially by Joey Styres. It's one of the sexiest moves we've seen all season right there from Styres, using the apron and going all the way back up and getting himself a good entry, but Landry takes the spot right back. Like I talked about, that slide job move, very possible through 3 and 4, and he's going to have the momentum to be able to, I think, defend that position and maybe even have a shot at Mills here. I think the move here is to try to gather up some momentum and then try it through 3 and 4, but that's not what Landry's going to try. Landry's going to look to the inside of Nick Mills here, try to drive himself side by side and go for it again through 3 and 4. I think this is what you want. Enter side by side through 3 and 4 and get that slide job done. Look at Styres though. You're going to see Landry look to the inside of Mills. He doesn't quite have it yet. He's going to try to slide up. Oh my goodness, about a piece of paper is what fit between those 2 cars, but that was enough, and they are loose behind them. Styres is loose, and that's Finley right there in the target car. He gets very loose on the exit of 4, all the way down the track through the grass. Finley went, but again, keeping the car clean. A lot of these moments for these drivers, but it has not cost them any damage quite yet. We'll see how those stack up as these tires continue to get older. Nick Mills to the inside of Landry, loose all the way up the track, almost into the wall, back down the track, and that's going to give the second place to the 8.
Yeah, Owens hanging in there for dear life, able to hold on to these loose cars. But like I said, that track temp was very hot this afternoon. It was like 120. So these guys are battling it here left and right, holding on to this wheel, as now they're 3 wide. Nick Mills, Styres, and David Medina there going through the start-finish line.
Joining the party also is David Brenner. Brenner has been kind of lurking in there, but as these guys have been battling, that's been slowing them down a little bit, and Brenner's been able to take advantage of it. He's going to look to the outside of Styres here, try to grab that top 5 position from Styres. Brenner, we see this all the time, gaining strength as the race goes on, figuring things out and finding that long run speed. And Brenner moving forward here, going to slot himself behind Dave Medina. Dave Medina just been hanging out so far in this race in the top 5 all day. Hasn't showed the race-winning speed we're used to seeing from the 9. But as this run goes on, and he's also been one of the ones that's been keeping himself out of trouble, I'd expect that 9 to start moving forward.
Yeah, he's really probably able to keep the tire temps down there, running that lower line, taking it a little bit easier on the tires there of Mr. Medina himself. As maybe he's going to start reeling in here Nick Mills and some of these cars here one by one. But only time will tell here on this longer green flag run we got. But let's take a look further back in the field. Jose Medina and Stephen Neal there working together against each other. They're trying to catch up to Paul Ferrandani there. And there you see Kyle Lynott. He's fallen all the way back to P12 there from the beginning. So not too bad if Kyle can kind of stay right there in the 12th spot, not lose too many more spots. I wouldn't say that's too bad of a move. Let's take a back look here as David Medina now passes underneath Nick Mills. Going to be taking over P3 there from Mills if it's a battle, though, as they cross start finish line here, headed into turn 1.
Yeah, you heard me say the word that it might be Medina time, and it looks like he heard me, and here he goes. Medina looking to the inside of Mills, and also, yeah, Lenat losing those positions and probably didn't love being taken 3 wide there by Jose Medina. And, yeah, Steve Neal there as still hold on that position, though, as Medina's going to continue moving forward. Medina having the day he needs to have to win that amateur championship, as now looks like Brenner might be joining this party here with Nick Mills, too, trying to complete this pass. As Medina is going to look to the inside of Mills one more time. I think just a little bit fresher tires on that 9. We saw how hard that 20 had to battle for the lead, while Medina kind of just sat in the back and watched. And now he's getting to take advantage of that, as Medina's going to move to 3rd place, set his sights on the 8 of Owens and the 56 of Landry. Landry so far today in Michigan looking like he has the car to beat.
Yeah, Jason obviously showed it on the qualifying speed and now on the long run speed, as he's still able to hold that gap over Medina. But this will be what we'll have to keep an eye on, is the deltas here on towards the tail end of this run. And once again, I think we were thinking about 36 laps. So the last pitted lap 21, last pit 31. So that'd be looking about lap 57-ish or so if we can get there.
Yep, it will be interesting to see how long these guys want to take it. Another guy to note right now, our current AM leader, and that is Buell over in 8th place, doing a great job in front of Kevin Kyle and the old AM points leader, but now new pro, Brandon Shelton there, chilling in 10th place, looking like a pro. Right in front of them is Jared Kelly. You also saw Jared Kelly in that group battling with them, but Kelly also battling hard. I think using his stuff up is a little bit of a wall hit there for Buell, trying to use that top lane, and it can get really, really sketchy as these runs go on, and really difficult to make that top line work. And that's going to open up the door for the 31 of Kevin Kyle, as he's going to try to drive by Buell on the inside here.
Yeah, and we have a pass for 2nd place, as David Medina's going to run underneath Owens there and take over 2nd and drop Owens back to 3rd place.
Cue the Jaws music, Kevin. I hear it. Here comes David Medina, and he is making quick work of this field. So now what we'll be paying our closest attention to is it looks like Ferdiani is going to bring it down to the pits, or at least try to. Oh, that looked like a speeding.
It might look like a little speeding. We'll have to keep an eye on that, as Kyle and Paul both bring it down here on lap 45.
I don't want to be a tattletale, but we'll see what happens there. We'll see what iRacing thought. I think that will likely set off an avalanche here, as we'll see our leaders probably come down in, I'd say, 1 to 3 laps time. And I think once Landry comes in, it's going to be enough for the rest of the field to want to as well. They're going to leave it out this time. And I also think the undercut is available to these boys. We know these lap times have slowed down pretty substantially. So if they want to take the lead right now and see what it would be like on the tail end of that run, now would likely be the time.
Yeah, well said. I wouldn't really worry too much if I was the leaders just yet. That, maybe if like a Nick Mills or a Joey Stiers came in behind you, it might worry you a little bit more, because you know that Kyle is going to be off strategy now, just with that tire call. And then Paul, I'm not sure what happened to Paul exactly, but yeah. And then this is a little group further back. I say the top 6 are a lot closer than they should be. And then Jared's leading this group, as I know I was trying to work with Jared here, just not try to pass him, but just kind of help bump draft and try to be as fast as we can, efficiently as we can here, is just trying to make up time.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those things when you're where a Kevin Kyle, a Jared Kelly, or really anyone behind them is, and you find yourself 4 or 5 seconds back from the leaders, and you can see the leaders visually, and you see that they're single file at this point in the run. It's really smart to do what these two are doing, and just say, let's not battle each other. We're just going to end up further behind them if we do that. Let's do what they're doing and use our draft and work together to give ourselves a chance at this win, instead of just a chance at 7th place.
Yeah, that's something I've been trying to keep in mind lately, is just not overdoing it, not being too aggressive and going for a pass, especially if it's going to just slow you both down.
It's a hard thing to do.
It is. It's a fine line, right? So.
Yeah, because we are racers at the end of the day, and we're wired that way to, when we see a car in front of it, if gap, then go. As up front, though, Medina, he has eaten up that lead like a shark. It is gone. He has poked it up. And now that 56 is under pressure, as Medina doing what he does best, and that is waiting until everyone else burns their stuff up and driving through the field as they're about to start going through lap traffic. Oh, man! Wow, Tommy Fox, he did what he was supposed to do there. He was hugging the top of the track, and Landry on those older tires just drifting up the track and ran out of racetrack. No fault of Tommy Fox there. That's what lap cars were supposed to do. Be predictable and hold your line.
Yep, well said there, Zach. Yeah, it looked like Jason just didn't time that exit out correctly. He had probably back that corner up just a little bit more so he could clear them in time. But Yeah, as Jason, you see Jason get a little wiggle there as Joey Styres now. I just saw him make a move. Let's take a look at who's behind the 20 of Nick Mills. Now he's catching up. As you saw, those cars that battled it out very early up front, starting to lose some of that tire grip.
Yeah, absolutely. And not to mention Tommy Fox still dealing with a damaged race car, so that guy has his hands full as it is. He doesn't need to be dealing with adjusting lines mid-corner or anything like that. So, glad they were able to keep that one clean, but that was exactly what Medina did, using Fox as a pick and driving away, already putting nearly a second lead on Landry, and I think that one's only going to grow as this run goes on. No incentive for that 9 to bring it down the pits until his competitors decide to, so he's just going to drive away in the sunset right now. As, oh man, it looks like there may have been an issue for Joey Styres. It looks like he may have lost a couple positions. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I actually didn't even realize that Owens was still in front of them. So there he is actually looking to the inside of Mills. And Brenner has actually worked his way around. And that's actually what caught me off guard is Brenner has worked his way around all of them. And now Brenner is in 3rd place in front of the 8. So great long run here by the 22.
Yeah, David working his way up meticulously, just like the other David, Mr. Medina, as he passes the other David of Owens in the 8. But
well, a lot of Medinas and a lot of Davids out here, man.
A lot of Davids, yeah, lots of Davids. But we wouldn't have it any other way. As yeah, you just tell. I mean, that's the whole thing, right? You gamble if you want that track position, but you know you're going to probably lose it on the long end, or you could do long run and then there's cautions and you just never really get your track position back. So just it's a balancing act here, and that's the whole point of it, is just trying to balance out what, how the race feels and how things go from there. But let's try to take a look here as Jason Landry's going to finally bring it down pit road.
Oh, wow. That's going to be interesting, Kevin. That's going to be one to watch. I was a little bit surprised, and I was definitely dead wrong about when those guys were going to follow in drivers like Ferdiani. I think Ferdiani should be able to, if he didn't speed, be able to get significant track position from that with how many green flag new tire laps he got in there, and that goes for everyone who pit in there with him. So we'll have to keep our eye on that, but that's going to be Landry first, and I think that's going to be enough for Medina to want to bring it down within the next lap or two. We'll see if I'm wrong about that as well, as Medina's going to leave it on track. So I have no idea what I'm talking about, Kevin.
Oh, you're all right, buddy. And then
Paul, here comes Owens.
And it looks like Paul did not get the speeding penalty, so he looks like he's okay. He has a decent same pit lap time and everything as other drivers, so I don't think he incurred a penalty there.
So that was just like an amazing entry, because if it looks like you sped and you didn't, that's just a textbook entry.
Right.
As there is the 8 Bucky's car of Owens going to bring it down, so he will be one of those. At this point, it looks like maybe undercuts if these guys want to leave it out here. As if you look at Medina there on screen, right in front of him is Landry getting his or staying on the lead lap. So if there was to be a caution, that would not affect Landry too bad here. We'll see if Medina has seen enough, or if he wants to continue to log laps. But he's going to keep it out here. Medina is going to stay out behind him. We'll see if Styres and the rest of the field, like Brenner, wants to pit. Looks like Styres and Brenner are going to stay out as well, as Owens is exiting right there. Owens with a little bit slower of a pit time than Landry, and why I'm saying that is Landry has already blown by Owens, and yeah, Owens something going wrong there. He is, I don't think, going to find himself as far up the running order as he was before that stop, depending on how long these guys want to stay out. And man, I am seeing Joey Styres get loose every corner. I cannot believe he's kept it straight. Insane.
Yeah, especially getting on the older tires. You want to get back on the gas as fast as you can, and it just goes for a wild ride there. As you see Nick doing a great job running the outside line on older tires, as he's hanging on right now to a 4th place spot. That's where he started the race at today. So Nick doing a good job holding on to that. Looks like Jared Kelly's brought it down pit road. He's exiting right now. Sam Milliken. Yeah, Sam Milliken in. Jerry Rose bringing it, just getting his service completed. He's bringing it back out.
Nice. And then you see Kyle Lynott just blowing the doors off of Styres and just saying, oh, how the turntables. That must have felt good for Lynott after having to deal with those 2 tires and now being the one on the freshies. And right behind him is Ferdiani. He also is on fresher tires, and he's trying to work through this field. And these two, Mills and Styres, they're on ancient tires, just trying to make this work. Lots of different agendas on this racetrack right now, and you can see how it's affecting them, as it looks like that's Medina ducking it. It is. Medina ducks it down into the pits. Our leader going to put on 4 fresh tires here on lap 56. So I think with this one, keeping it pretty simple, aren't you, Kevin? It's only going to be a 1-stopper at this point, from this point forward, if we are to stay green.
I think you got to do one more. I think it's not a 1-stopper just yet. I think you still, yeah, you're right. After this, yes, 1 more stop. I'm sorry.
Oh, Medina blows his box bad. Medina completely misses his box. I think not used to being not on the pole, I was like, oh wait, that's not my stall. Oh crap, and had to back it up. He literally went halfway through the stall in front of him. Medina, that's going to cost him significant time on top of him staying on the track longer than other drivers. I'm going to go ahead. I'll put my bank account on the fact that Landry is going to inherit the lead of this race. Oh yeah, by a lot. And here comes the rest of our leaders. So you see Brenner in the pits now. Stiers as well. Stiers with a great entry into a stall, faced the right way, and it looks like Nick Mills is going to bring it down as well. All these guys really thinking about the little things. Look at that positioning in their stall, Kevin, how they're all facing the racetrack. Those are the little things that will get you in and out of your stall that much quicker on these super touchy and important green flag pit stops. Stiers drops the jack. Nick Mills drops the jack. It looks like Nick Mills is going to lead them out. Actually, it's going to be Brenner in front of everybody. That 22 has figured it out.
Yeah, we'll see where they come back out and blend back out with the traffic, as he's going to try to get in front of some of this slower traffic on older tires. It'd be great if he can, but no, he's going to just even out with them. He's going to have to do some battling here with some cars on older tires as David Medina and Jared Kelly go by Brenner right there on the outside.
And put the camera on the 56 real quick, Kevin, because it looks like there is nobody around him. It looks like he has the track to himself right now. Look at that. Wow. Where'd everyone go? And that is about, I mean, in terms of being alone on the racetrack, that's about the best scenario you could have, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. I mean, it takes the pressure off of yourself. It makes your competitors drive a little harder trying to catch you. So you are in the driver's seat here. We'll have to see exactly how far ahead Jason is once we get the timing in. 6 seconds right now.
6 seconds. Yeah, 6 seconds. That is substantial here in Michigan. And also on top of that, we talked about Medina and that pit road mistake he made. He is now battling with Jared Kelly. That's how much time that cost Medina. That was substantial for Medina. And not just was he battling with Kelly, he was 3 wide a lap ago. So now he's amongst, not so much the squirrels, but he's amongst the wild pack of coyotes and hyenas. And he is dealing with a lot more than he was before this pit cycle. So right now he has Lynott in front of him on slightly older tires, and then behind him is Jared Kelly on a very similar tire situation to him, giving him a hard time looking to the outside. Whoa, a little beating and banging there.
Yeah,
as there's the 201 bringing it back out.
Yeah, I think something happens here with the 201. I think he might, I'm hearing on the radio, he might be running out of gas to his crew.
Oh no. Go in his cockpit real quick.
Hey now.
Hey. Oh, I see sputtering, Kevin. I see sputtering.
Yeah, you can hear it. I don't know if he's going to make it back to pit road. This might bring out another caution here. We'll see what he does. But even if he did run out of fuel, Zach, if he were just to hit the brake and tow instantly, would it still throw a yellow out?
I think it depends where on the racetrack you do it. Where he is right now, I don't think would bring the yellow out if he stays off the racing surface. But I honestly have been told so many different things about this, and I feel like I've seen so many different scenarios. It's hard to say, but that race car is not going to make it to pit lane, I don't think. And he's out of momentum. It's slow now. So we'll
Jason
see
Landry
what
out to a
happens
7-second lead too.
Praying, get that thing to the pits or tow it the hell off the racetrack, please. He's trying.
He's trying. I'm not sure what's going to happen here.
Oh, Zach Clausen. It's tough to watch a fellow Zach do this. It looks like right now, it looks like that one scene in Talladega Nights where Ricky Bobby gets back in the race car after being injured.
Oh, I think that brought. Oh, there he goes by him. He's still rolling it.
I don't hear the yellow. Oh, he tows. He
did tow. He did tow.
And the yellow, but the yellow's out. I see the yellow.
I'm wondering if the speed was so slow, it basically was like, you know what I mean? Because he did tow as soon as he stopped. Like, I'm gonna give him credit for that, as we saw it. We saw it here. We thought maybe he didn't. I know a lot of guys were giving him shit for that, but that did look like he towed right away. But that's definitely gonna screw up.
Oh, you know, Landry is screaming in that race car right now.
And I think he did scream. I think he did scream and yell on the mic there during the race, if I do remember correctly.
Because I think Landry drove past it about 3 times. It was probably just thinking, dude, please. Just put it in the grass or something. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. I think it probably was. I'm assuming on your SDK it says he crashed.
Yes.
So I'm assuming, yep. Then that's what iRacing saw. So I'm assuming that's what brought out the yellow was the prolonged time below the speed deemed acceptable by iRacing. But yeah, I don't blame Clausen. I can't say I wouldn't have done that too. You got to try it, right? As
Yeah,
we see a handful of cars pit, a lot of fakers as well.
Yeah, old Medina there throwing a fake, as we got different strategies there. As you can see, it's split half and half. But so Jason Landry stays out. He last pitted lap 51, so he last came in 51. David Medina lap 55. David Brenner lap 56. Brandon Finley, he came in 51. Kevin Kyle 56. And he's going to move up to 5th place right there. That was a big call there, pitting later in that stint with that caution coming out, helping him out. So a lot of guys going to have some different strategies here. Brandon Shelton, last pitted lap 57, so that was only 3 laps ago. It looks like Owens, David Buell, Kyle Anott, Paul Ferdani, Stephen Neal, Nick Mills, Jose Medina, Joseph Wolfus, I meant. That was a good one. Joseph Wolfus, Matt Schofield, and I'm sure there's a bunch of more, but you can see them all getting some fresh tires. They're going to be lap 62 freshies. So looking at my SDK, David Owens is going to be leading the charge with the freshest set of tires, and that's going to be P10 for Mr. Owens.
Man, for so many reasons, this did not work out for Jason Landry.
No.
Like, oldest tires from out of the leaders, 7-second lead, just a race like it never existed, and now it's only the 10th place where they're substantially older than or newer than him. And yeah, Medina with those 4-lap newer tires, now getting to start on the same row as him. Those 4 laps are going to be pretty significant now. I gotta say, I mean, it's a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation, as it always is when you're the leader in these situations. I would have pit there if I was Landry. I know he probably was feeling like, no, that's my lead, I'm not giving it up. But man, it's gonna be tough to hold on to it.
Yeah, it is. But if anyone can do it, Jason's pretty skilled driver, and we'll see if he can show us how to do it here.
Yep. And is Finley a AM driver?
He is an AM driver. Yep. He is a rookie to the league. He just joined, and yeah, rookie.
So awesome. Finley currently leading the AM race, in position to win his first AM race right now, running in 4th place. And that is about what you've needed to do so far to win an AM race, as you've had to finish in about, and the top 5 is about what's taken. But we know we are not far away from seeing an AM driver take the overall win in one of these races. But right now, you know, Finley trying to balance those priorities. The race lead 1 row in front of him, but the AM lead, I'm sorry, the AM lead, the AM win in his hands right now.
Speaking of Finley, let's go on board with him for this restart. Just kind of take a look at how things are going to take off. He's starting on the 2nd row on the outside of David Brenner. Take a shot here from David Medina and Jason Landry on your front row as we get ready to go back green flag racing here at Michigan. We're lap 64 out of 101 here, or 100, I'm sorry, for the BRL 5th anniversary 200 here at Michigan.
And you're seeing Landry, the leader, electing to take the inside on those older tires. That will be interesting. I think likely going to try to blast off here, clear Medina, and drive away as far as he can. Pace cars off, and there goes Landry. You can see right there a great restart by the car we're on board with of Finley, as he is right behind Brenner and, oh man, and Stiers. And Stiers is going to look to the inside already and make it 3 wide. Amazing restart for the 22 of Brenner as he drives immediately to the inside of Medina. Is going to look for 2nd place, and they are 3 wide behind him. Finley, the meat in the sandwich there, trying to keep it clean. As you see, Stiers aggressive on this restart. Kevin Kyle with an amazing start as well. Kevin Kyle already has worked his way up to 3rd place as he's going to make a move on the outside of Brenner right there. What a run from the 31. This is the fastest we've seen him this season yet. In front of them, you see Medina already putting the pressure on Landry, using those fresher tires. 3 wide behind them as Stiers and Brenner doorbang a tiny bit. And they're going to enter 1 and 2, 3 wide with Shelton right behind them.
Yeah, Zach, the insane action there. I was missing all my clicks on where to look as we missed that 3 wide just a little bit, but sorry about that. As Yeah, crazy restart there. Kevin Kyle took a full advantage of that restart as I somehow found myself in third there, surprisingly.
And looking for the lead is Medina. He's going to look to the inside of Landry. Looks like he's going to be able to complete this pass with ease. Oh, I'm above them. Kevin Kyle ripping the top, trying to get that run, knowing these two are battling each other, and he should be able to have a run out of 4 here, and he does. We'll see what he wants to do with it with Landry. He's going to fake low, go high. So Kevin Kyle going to go for second place here. He's going to have Medina giving us some dirty air for good measure. Behind them, it's still a wild pack. As you see, Owens moving up to 4th place now. Steyer's in 5th, Brenner 6th, and Finley 7th. Finley trying to keep that car as clean as he can and loses Ferdiani. And oh man, we have some action throughout this field. Look at Owens as well. He's going to look to the outside of Landry here, and it might be a 3-wide situation between Kyle, Owens, and Landry. It is. Owens is going to slot in behind Kyle, actually. Going to try to follow him through this front stretch and actually just take one spot. Maybe he wants the BOGO here. He's going to stay satisfied with the outside lane, fall in the 31. Landry, though, those old tires, Kevin, they're coming to bite him right now.
Yeah, but he's still able to make that inside line work. It's amazing. What Jason can do, you know, as he slides right in front of Joey Steyer's there last minute. Joey's not going to like that now, as he's going to fight back on the inside, as that did kind of stifle Joey's momentum there.
Yeah, that did. Joey really did, actually, as he's going to be going through 3 and 4. You're sliding up the track nearly into Brenner. Brenner going to try to make it work on the outside. This racing is incredibly intense and incredibly close, and there is very, very little give and take there, as you can see between Landry and Steyer's there. That was no room on that clear on the exit of the corner. And like you said, I don't know how happy Steyer's going to be about that.
Jason's not making any friends on his way back through the field. As you can see, those older tires definitely starting to catch up with Jason. But Jason having no problem sliding back in front of cars with more momentum on the outside lane. But I guess that's just what you got to do. I mean, that's aggressive driving. That's why Jason's won 2 races, or 1 races. You know, that's why he's up there in the front most of the time, is just that aggressive nature. But just things to take lessons from and learn from. But don't be surprised though if drivers want to pay you back for certain things.
Yeah, I could definitely. I mean, these races are marathons, and the yellow is actually out, Kevin.
Yeah,
I thought I heard these guys.
Yes, you're right. You're right. We missed it talking too much there. It was Zach Clausen in the 132, or no, Joseph Yusnukis in the 132 there. We didn't catch what he's actually happened. I do have caution for slow car involving a 132, so we did miss that caution, and that is on me. My bad.
Hey, easier said than done.
Yes. I just got caught up so much with that front battle there. As we are under caution, I'll get us our little guy that says caution. There it is, yellow little dot on our ticker. And we'll get back to the front here and catch our breaths as David Medina and David Owens now running that top row. What are you going to do here, Zach? Last pitted lap 55.
It's going to be different for a lot of guys in this field. I know if I'm Landry, I want 4 fresh ones. I think if I'm one of the guys who didn't just take tires, now would be the time, and that does appear to be the case. And it looks like even some of the guys who did take tires are going to put on another set. And I think I know why, Kevin. I think it's because if you don't here and we don't get a caution, this is it, right?
Right.
You're never going to get those tires.
Yeah, so 36 laps on a fuel run. This is going to make sure everyone's in the window now. So 71, you come in pit, you're going to make it to the end. So now this is a fight. But you got a couple guys, 3 guys stayed out. That's going to be Steven Neal, Nick Mills, and Kyle Anott, all deciding to stay out and get that track position back. So we'll see. They last pitted lap 62 and 63.
Nick Mills was really, really far down the field. I don't know if we didn't catch something happening to him, but Nick Mills had lost all his track position, whether or not he took tires. So that's going to be interesting. I'm looking at the 20 race car, and I don't see any damage on it. But Mills behind Steve Neal, which has not been the case at all today, but still in front of Lanat. That'd be interesting, indeed. We'll have to see what happens there. But yeah, these guys, if we do get a yellow, Kevin, and I'm gonna go ahead and assume, especially the guys who hit that last caution, then pit again this one, there's no way they have a set of tires left. So if we do get a caution, and you're someone like Nick Mills or Steven Neal who wants to take those tires, and you feel like there's enough laps to get through the field again, that would be a pretty nice advantage to have.
Yeah, and I think if you get a caution around 10 laps, you got to put the set on. It's going to be what happens if you get one sooner than that. And then another problem is if another caution comes out late, do you have enough time to work your way back through the field?
Yeah, I completely agree. That's going to be very, very interesting. There's a lot of different options these guys have available to them here.
All right, so as we get things back situated, pace car lights are off. You have Steven, Neil, Nick Mills, and Kyle Anott. They're all out there on the older stuff. Fresh tires. They're going to be David Owens did a great job getting out on track, so he's going to be on the second row. Mr. Owens on fresh tires, lap 70, and the rest of the field all on lap 70, all the way back to about P20.
Did Ferdy take 2 or something?
All for Danny. Yeah, he had a 5-second stop, 5.8, so it's almost like fuel only.
Fuel only for Ferdy, so very interesting. And there's a chance there's other guys sprinkled in this field who did a similar thing to get some track position.
Correct.
So we'll have to keep our eye on that. And yeah, again, the differences right now, they're not massive. So with a car like Nick Mills, who's been so lights out fast today, I mean, there's a chance he can still do this with that tire difference. So we'll see. Even Steven Neal, a very, very quick driver, they're going to know what to do with this lead. So I am curious to see how this one works out. Only 28 to go I'm sorry, 27 to go when we go green here. So the pay window is open, Kevin, and it's go time.
Yeah, and we're going to kind of take a wide shot, not to foreshadow anything, but we're going to see exactly what happens here.
I'll do that too, for no reason.
Yeah, let's take a look here at old number 51, Jerry Rose, on this restart.
Oh, no.
See what happens.
Oh, God. All right, and we go
restart.
greens.
Green start.
Neil has started it off, and with cameras on Rose. Take it away, Kevin.
Yeah, I don't exactly know what happened here, but we're going to see exactly what happened. There's David Buell. Matt Schofield goes on the inside. David's going to drop below him. Oh, David's going to go up the track and just touch the left rear of Jerry and then get him in again. And he goes down the track. And Jerry Rose, another victim of a 3-wide scenario. That's definitely going on the shorts clip for later tonight. There is the number 51's Marines car, Sempra 5 there, Mr. Jerry Rose, as he gets involved with another incident on another track.
Asking Buell right there, was once not enough?
Yeah, we'll have to see, because it definitely looked like David Buell was all out of sorts. I could tell when he went back in, he went in too hot into that turn. Obviously slid up the track, got in the left rear of Jerry. And then after that, though, it just seemed like the car had no bite there for David Buell. As him being a series admin for the truck series, I'm sure it wasn't malicious. But, yeah, we'll have to go back and take a look at it, see exactly what happened later on, as I will do my...
Very, very happy about that one.
Yeah, I think Jerry was not happy with that one. Okay, so Tower.
Were the words 30 points used at any point?
No, he did not lose any 30 points. The points were all on board on that hit. He didn't lose any points as it went by.
You didn't hear him say 30 points at any point on the radio? That's good.
No, he's
moving on.
He's moving on. So now, speaking of strategy, Steven Neal hanging on after that restart, even though it was short-lived, still in first. So way to go for Steven, holding on to that track position right now as the laps are counting down under caution. Did anybody pit? I'm looking at our SDK info. No, it looks like still lap 70s. No one pitted on that very quick caution. So
just not enough wear there, yeah. But of note with Neil, Neil doing a fantastic job protecting that lead, but the car next to him, Nick Mills, already lost second place. It will be Owens now starting on the front row with Neil.
Yeah, we're gonna go. We're gonna keep an eye on Nick Mills here on this next restart and see exactly what happens. I'm interested to see if he can keep up the aggressiveness and hold on, or if he's gonna lose more spots with that strategy.
And we've seen it happen a lot of times too, so often in so many different racetracks. Really, I mean, it also just depends how good you are on the front row. Like me personally, Kevin, I think you know this about me. I suck on the front row if I'm not the control car. I would far rather be the third place car on the inside line. I am way better there. I normally feel like when I'm in third place on a restart, I'm truly in second. Like I'm very confident about my ability to get around that outside car. However, when I'm in second, I'm normally thinking, man, I hope I can stay in the top 5.
Yeah, it's an adrenaline rush though, being on the front row with that leader, because it's just that fun moment of, are you going to time it right? Mm-hmm. Are you going to jump it? Are you going to black flag it? It's just
exactly.
it's a lot of fun though. It is a tough spot to be in, but learning how to do it and being up there, it can only get you better as your racing career progresses. But yeah,
it's
I
such
like
a delicate
it.
one.
Yeah, I like it up there. It's fun to me. I like seeing if I have a better reaction time or trying to guess it. But there's a little black area, a little gray area there in iRacing. Like they kind of let you jump a little bit. It's
a little bit.
Yeah. So it's fun.
I had a race this year. It was on Friday at Auto Club, and it was an overtime restart. It was me and Matt Novella, one of my teammates. So he knows my driving style, and he knows my restart style way too well. And he read me like a book, Kyle. Like going green, just read me like a book. And when I mashed on the gas and I looked to my right, I'm like, oh, I'm so screwed. And yep, he had a little bit of pressure tires and drove right around me. And I just remember thinking, like, I don't know how he did that, because I went so early. And so I hit him up after the race, and he said, yeah, I just guessed. And it's such a delicate situation, because if he had guessed wrong, like you said, he's black flagged. He's going to the rear of the field, and we're in overtime. You're done. It's a delicate situation. You gotta kind of balance your priorities and balance the risk versus reward in that situation.
Yeah, so we're still under yellow. Pace car lights are off. We're getting ready to go back green. This is lap 76 right now out of 100, out of the BRL 5th anniversary 200 here. That's all presented to you by the late Dennis Puckett. This was his idea. We're all here because of him. So shout out there to Dennis. And as you can see, a lot of the decals, and we take a look at the 98, the 20 side by side with that decals on the front of their hood. The Bucky's car, the number 8 there. 3 cars. There's the 17 of Sam Milliken showing respect also. So I love it. As Pace car is off, we're going to go a little bit wider shot there with Nick and see how this restart treats him here in the first couple laps.
Yeah, big restart here for Steve Neal and Nick Mills. 2 of our cars on older tires. They need to make this work. Lynott as well. They got to make this work on the early stages of this restart. It's going to be Steve Neal in control of the restart, and you can tell with a great launch on the outside. Nick Mills right there on the inside behind David Owens. They're going to try to make quick work of this field and see if they can get that car to the lead. Owens right there has the freshest tires. He's going to look to the inside there, and they're going to take Neal 3 wide. Neal going through the field quick. Oh, man, Neal's losing those positions as Nick Mills going to look to the inside. And, loose is Lynott, nearly into Mills. Mills is going to clear him for second place, and now it's Owens and Mills.
Yeah, and remember last week at Nashville, these two had a run in there on the last lap. Let's see if there's any more, not bad blood, but just any, reservations left from what happened last week at Nashville, as these two now are finding themselves back battling for the lead once again in the series.
Yeah, no love lost between these two. Lots of discussion over the Discord about that move. I even caught a stray, Kevin, about the discussion with it and how I talked about it. So, man, these guys still feeling that about a week later, as David Owens trying to get revenge in the form of a win with that 20 of Nick Mills chasing him down. Kyle Lynott in 3rd place. Steve Neal, after that rough 1 and 2, doing a great job recovering. Still forward. Oh, my gosh, he just gets turned by Lynott. Oh!
We miss what happened. Oh, my Lord. Oh, my Lord. The Tim Darby rocket, the missile, just destroys the 20, as there's Nick Mills high-sided on the infield. As that car, oh, my Lord, that car does not look very good there as Nick Mills tries to get that thing turned around.
Oh, 2 weeks in a row.
The rocket, Mills. The weapon, Tim Darby. That paint scheme is very...
Took a bite. Took a bite out of that 20 of Mills.
I think there is going to be league intervention there with the 133. I don't know. We've had the discussion
for the 133.
Yeah,
So I, in complete transparency there, Kevin. So little behind the scenes info. I have 2 monitors here. One of my monitors shows me the race I can control, so I'm kind of going through my own cameras, and then I have one on the left. That's what Kevin's showing. I was looking at the Mills wreck. I look over my left, and you were showing an entirely separate wreck. What else happened?
So Brenner got loose against. So it looked like Landry and Brenner. Brenner was on the outside of Landry, and they were coming out of, I can't remember what exit, but it looked like Landry kind of started pushing up the track and might have got into Brenner there a little bit, and Brenner got hit into the wall. And then once he hit that wall, he got real out of shape and started losing it, dropped speed instantly, and people just started to cluster truck behind everything.
So 3 of our contenders, 3 of our fastest cars of the day, done. And look at that 20 of Nick Mills. That front passenger side wheel does not want to turn.
No.
It is no longer a circle.
That thing is lopsided, as you can see. It's
looks like one of my cambered cars.
It's trying to go left.
Yep. Cool for style points, not so cool for speed. Oh, Nick Mills just
stop.
The brakes appear to be outers.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
The brakes are out. We're not sure how
I think this is a sim. Are the brakes actually... I guess put it on the wall?
I mean, he can just let off the throttle, but I think Nick's just frustrated right now because I think that it's going to ruin his race. We don't know if he can even repair that car.
I'd assume no. I'd assume a spotter telling him right now, dude, we said the garage.
Bring it in.
Yep. Maybe he's on a mission for that 133, but little does he know that car is destroyed.
All right, so that is our caution. Another caution there. Let me get the little yellow dot to signify our caution, and then that caution is going to.
So 22 to go now.
And David Owens up in the lead there. And Stephen Neal still holding on to that front row spot. Amazing
yeah,
job.
He did a great job.
As Mills got involved in that accident, I did not see exactly what happened. We'll have to go back and get that for the social media stuff, and we'll explain it a little bit more.
You're going to enjoy that one.
And, right. So, now, 20 laps to go probably as that pace car hits that line. We're going to have a 20-lap shootout here. See exactly what happens. Everyone, see, we got pit people that pitted. Matt Schofield, David Brenner involved in the accident. Zach Clausen, Tim Darby, obviously his day is over. He's in the AMR medical infield. Tommy Fox just coming out right now of pits. And everybody else hanging in there. Joseph Volpes finds himself, I'm not sure how many laps down Volpes is. Oh, he's out. He's just out, pure out right now. And
rough day for Volpes.
Yeah, rough day.
Great qualifying effort and just fell apart early for that 11. But yeah, that 133 currently in the medical center, and then he has to make a beeline to the hauler, is what I've been told. So, gonna be an eventful afternoon for him. As, yeah, it's gonna be David Owens controlling this restart. He's electing to use the outside. On the inside, it's gonna be Stephen Neal. Neal's struggling through 1 and 2, like we talked about in that last restart, on slightly older tires than the cars around him. However, he really did do a great job at gathering it back up. He had that car solidly in 4th place, and then when Lynott and Mills had their issue in front of him, able to get 2nd place back. So we'll see what he's able to do with that. Another car to note, Verdiani over there in 4th place on the outside. So here we go. A lot of different drivers, new drivers up front here. This will be an exciting restart. It's going to be the 8 leading them to green. Late restart from the 8, and you're going to see how that bunches up the field. Lots of bumping and grooving through the field right now with big chain reaction and big separation between 2 packs. One of the later restarts we've seen all day by the 8, but it worked out for him. Verdiani going to follow through Owens to 2nd place. So Paul Verdiani, the best place he's ran all day. Where did that 33 come from?
Yeah, Paul doing a great job with that track position, as now he's following in the trail with the footsteps of Owens right now. As we got to take a look here at Stephen Neal and see if he can hang on, or exactly what's going to happen here with Neal, as he is on the older stuff trying to hang on to that track position.
Yeah, Neal looking at the outside, following Verdiani. Verdiani misses that corner a little bit, can allow Owens to drive away. Neal battering with Landry. Landry on the inside of him. Him also on slightly older tires, but Landry going to try to make these work. Actually, I'm sorry, Landry came back down. He has new tires. And behind them, the other dominant car today, and that is Dave Medina. Really, the whole season, Medina has been up front, currently running in 5th place, watching this unfold in front of him as you see Landry using that bottom line to his advantage.
Well, the 31's loose. 31's loose. He's heading into the louder bar wall. Hits the 2. He comes back down the track into Jared Kelly.
Oh.
And that's going to I think that's going to put Jared Kelly in the garage there, as Jared Kelly takes
sliding.
a huge hit. He's still sliding, but I think that car is damaged very badly, the 55. Let's take a look. If we can take a look at that right side damage.
That was a long slide. And it looks like we are under yellow again here at Michigan.
Yeah,
Kevin Kyle getting loose and taking out as many cars as he could with him, saying, if I'm going down, you guys are going with me.
That's not
VRN on VRN violence
there. That was not the idea. That was not the idea. Yeah, as
Coworkers.
Jared gets the right rear suspension just destroyed there on Jared's car as the 31 came down. As 31's trying to milk it back in is that left front is completely turned the wrong
as you
way.
See, Jared has thrown his steering wheel in his pit box. He has left. They asked him to go to the medical center. He said some words I can't repeat. Did not, and just went straight to his trailer with his helmet still on.
And I think he uninstalled Discord. He's not been able to get reached on Discord or any type of communicating device. So hopefully,
I think
Jared's
he
okay.
just uninstalled.
I think he's
the world. You know what I mean? Like he's just turning off the world today. He's like, you know what? Screw these guys. Yep. He's just right now probably with a bottle of wine, just enjoying a nice view somewhere.
Jared doesn't strike me as a bottle of wine kind of guy.
With a huge beer guy.
Oh, hold on there, Zach. I lost connection to OBS. It like shut me out all. Oh, we're connected again. Okay.
Yep.
Hopefully.
Oh, it did that to me the other day, Kevin.
Hopefully we're good.
Oh, it looks like interesting here. Ferdiani may have seen enough. He was battling for the lead, and he's going to bring it down.
He's bringing it down the pit lane right now.
He's putting tires on it. Maybe thinking there's so few cars left in this race, slashing the lead lap. Why not? 17, I mean, probably 15 when we go green. It's a lot of laps at Michigan.
So let's see. Did David Medina bring it down? No, he's still out on track. Okay, so
Owens, Landry, and Neil married to that. It looks like Neil's going to stay married to that strategy.
Neil's just an animal out there. He's got the oldest set of tires. Cautions have definitely helped him, but he's been able to survive, stay out, and he's in third place. I mean, hell of a job of 25 spots right now. So let's see what kind of day Stephen Neal can make out of this thing.
Neil last season was a really fun story. He went to the round of 8, and he very, very nearly went to the championship race and raced for a championship. And once you're there, who knows what can happen. Stephen Neal, just a really quietly exceptional driver over here in the BRL. I have the privilege of sharing the track with him most weeks over in MRL, and he's a great driver, always improving. But man, he is an animal in these next gens. I see a different side of him in these cars.
Yeah, Steven's quite a character, but I enjoy hanging out with him and talking to him, and he has really good insights on things, and he can put things in nice perspectives that you don't think of usually. So he's a great asset to any league he's a part of. So
I agree.
Good out there in that number 45 racing champion scheme, as that is a good looking scheme.
Been trying to snatch Neil for the DDIRL. He's such a good guy to have in a league. Yeah, I love that. I was gonna say that was my next thing I was gonna bring up. I love that paint scheme. It reminds me of like my old diecast.
Yep. It's a bitchin' look.
Even though people in the diecast community, they don't like racing champions, Kevin. They don't like racing champions.
Yeah, I'm so far removed from the diecast scene. Like, you'll have to sit down and teach me one of these days exactly what ins and outs.
Racing champions are those cheaper ones. They're the mass-produced ones. I think that's the issue that a lot of people have with them. But to me, it's like, well, first of all, Lionel right now isn't doing much better. And secondly, I wish NASCAR was that mass-produced, and I wish we still had that problem. So I have a soft spot for racing champions. I actually quite like them. But yeah, that aside, there's your diecast knowledge for the day, boys. It's going to be Landry and Owens in the front row this time, and whoa, it's been a movie for Jason Landry today. And look who's behind him, David Medina. He's just never not there, is he, Kevin? David Medina always in position to win a race, no matter what he goes through.
Yeah, he's not a three-time, maybe 4-time now. I can't remember.
A lot of times.
Yeah, but there he has damage. Take a look at that, Zach. I noticed
that
earlier. He does have some damage in the nose, so we'll see how that plays a part.
Yeah, that is pretty noticeable or substantial damage. That should affect the arrow as we're getting ready to go green. It's going to be Owens, a control car on the inside this time. Goes earlier than he did last time and doing a good job there being unpredictable as Owens. That's what you want to do in those restarts. You don't want to do the same thing every time, and that's what the 8's doing. He's going to have a nice lead going into 1 and 2 here with Landry behind him, and great start from Medina up to third place.
As they fan out behind him, there's David trying to use the outside lane with that nose damage a little bit. I know that's probably affecting him quite a bit, so this might be a 2-horse race unless someone else can weave their way up through this traffic. As there you see
Look
Brandon
at Finley.
Yep, Finley making it 3 wide.
Nice move by Finley to the inside of Neil. On the outside, that is Lanat. That's almost 4 wide with Shelton just saying, oh my gosh, what's going on down there? What a move by Finley, the rookie, showing his muscle, taking the AM lead from Neil. Wow.
Yeah, great move there. I could not find my mouse cursor on all these screens.
Oh my gosh, same thing's been happening to me all race, dude. As up front, you see, what a great camera work there by iRacing. Gotta love those camera packs. As you see, oh, what a run by Landry on Owens. He's gonna look to the inside here. Owens not getting the exit that he wanted out of 2. That's enough for Landry to get a massive run. He may have him clear by 3 and 4.
Yeah, just gonna slide up in front of David there on the end of that, but here comes David trying to get back to his right rear quarter fender. We get a great shot of these RVs and the Jesus. As David tried to bury it in there on the right rear of Jason's car, but I think Jason might be out to the races here as he's showing speed all race long. And
yeah,
I think I'm just gonna put the blimp here for a second.
Seriously, they're like, buy an RV. They really, really want to get those RVs some camera time right now. But Jason Landry taking the lead from Owens in quick fashion. Owens just slipping up a tiny bit, but behind them, Finley just got Medina. And I think he may have some of the freshest tires in this field. So a man on a mission is the rookie in the 212. He is in position to win the AM race, but he's in position to win the overall as well. And you see Owens right now. He is trying to use that outside lane. He's trying to drive it in deep, get to the outside of the 56 and kill his exit. He just doesn't have it right now. And what that's doing is it's killing his exit. And look at how bad that is right there. And look at how close Finley is going to be able to get by the time they get to 1 and 2. Owens right now might need to reevaluate his priorities and focus more on that second place than that win.
Are they under caution? They're under caution. Under caution.
Yeah, we are under
Ricky
caution.
Yeah, Ricky Mandela, they're the cause of it. I can't remember exactly what happened. I think he got door slammed and came down on the infield is what I remembered it. So Ricky Mandela involved in an incident there as we missed that incident.
Mandela repping Animal House Customs in that car. Should have shouted them out. Animal House Customs, one of the sponsors of this league. Check them out, animalhousecustoms.com, for all your embroidery needs. An incredible sponsor that has been with us for a few seasons now that we're very grateful to have. And they also bring some of the best looking race cars here week in, week out. And right in front of him is Matt Schofield, who is responsible for our other sponsor. Kevin.
That's Swain League Golf Association. And shout out to the Swan League Golf Association for keeping this broadcast flowing. And just shout out to him and Animal House. And then also, guys, we have hats and patches for sale through Ricky if you'd like to support the league in that way. All the proceeds and that benefit the broadcasting and server hosting and whatever else we do in the league that costs money. All that goes towards that. So if you'd like to support us, reach out to Ricky and we can get you guys an awesome hat or patch and show your support here for Bonfire Racing League.
Those are some sick hats. I love them.
If you're a round bill guy, they're nice. I'm a flat bill kind of guy. So
any round bill can be flattened. It just, when there's a will, there's a way, Kevin.
I know, but there's nothing like a pristine flat bill
I agree.
hat. Like
I'm a flat biller too.
But I think that's a California thing. I think it's a California thing.
I look like a dork with a forwards hat, so I always have to wear my hats backwards. So that's also a limitation I have.
I don't think it's the hat, though, causing that.
Yeah, you're probably right. You're probably right.
All right, so Jason, I think we had some pitters there, bud.
Yeah, I think so. But, yeah, what? I'm assuming that's the damage, right? Let's take a look at the front of that race car real quick.
Yes, sir. Let me get to the front. That's rear chase.
Because why else would Medina bring it to... No, it's not
tires.
It must be tires. Yeah, maybe that's the only way to neutralize that damage, and maybe that damage isn't fixable. I don't know what you would do about that, to be fair. So yeah, Medina, I think, probably trying to offset that disadvantage of that damage just put him at. He's going to have about 9 laps to get it done, which, again, this is Michigan. This is a 2-miler. It's a lot of time. I mean, it is a lot of distance that you get, but it's going to be tough because every car in front of him is going to have the same exact agenda, and they're going to be going for it just as hard as he has. So he is really amongst the craziness now and needs to try to survive more than anything. But with a lot of guys also, it looks like maybe a few topping off on fuel for some reason or fixing damage or putting on tires. He's not that far back in the field, Kevin.
No, he's going to be the first car. Well, I'd say Paul Ferdani. He last came in lap 84, had the caution, pretty fresh tires. So David's going to be starting 5 cars behind that pack of pit stops. And then you got David Medina, Joey Stiers, Ricky Mandela's going in to get some repairs done. And then you got Jerry Rose. He came in and got some tires also. He's going to be coming out in front of Brandon Shelton. Brandon's going to be also on fresh tires, but Brandon also has some damage. So let's take a look at Brandon's car. I remember watching this back, and Brandon also has some damage. Let's go.
Yeah, Brandon got collected in that Kevin Kyle wreck.
You know what? His car looks pretty cleaner, actually. I think he might have gone in and got the repairs done on that, too.
He has visited the pits a few times, so I'm assuming he was able to get some stuff fixed. So that's good for Shelton.
That's a good looking Chevy now. Yep.
Always is. Good job by him in his first race here in the Pro Series. As they're catching up to the field, and they have very little time to do that as we're getting ready to go green. Lights are off the pace car, and he's getting ready to pull off. It's going to be the outside car in control here. That's Jason Landry. It's going to be Owens on the inside, Neal and Finley, the two AM contenders, leading that second row, and they'll be battling for a win in all their own right there. So we got 2 battles, and here we go. Great jump by Landry. That inside lane a little bit stalled out. Owens quite a bit behind. Landry's going to be able to drive away here. Finley going to think about a move on Owens. We'll see if he goes for it. Oh, man, what a move by Lynott as Lynott tries to go all the way to the bottom, and we are 3 wide with Owens on the outside.
Yeah, Kyle Lynott's going to try to fit that spot up right in front of Jax on the inside lane. Jax decides to stay low and not take the outside, as I don't think he wants to get stuck behind Stephen Neal with those older tires, but Stephen doing a great job holding on for everything he's got right now on that older set. As you can see him drive right now, doing great with the momentum. As Stephen Neal now is going to fall back to 5th or 6th place. There's Jax Duvall on the inside of Kyle. Barely just nips him there on the ass end. And here comes Jose Medina in that 54 Sitco car. It looks like that 54 had better days, but he's hanging in there right now trying to hold on to that draft.
Yeah, Medina doing all he can to hang on. He sees the AM win right in front of him. It's only 3 cars in front of him with Finley in that target car. So it is very possible for Medina. But up front, oh man, Owens into the wall. He's going to lose a ton of momentum. Finley's around him. It's going to be Lynott around him. I think even Jax might get him. Owens with a healthy slap into the wall on the exit of 2. And that's all Jason Landry needed to see and wanted to see, as he's going to be able to drive away in the sunset as long as we stay green. David Medina, who we saw take those tires, he is working through the field. He's doing a good job. He's up to the top 10, but I don't know if he's going to have enough time.
Yeah, and here David's just battling with the traffic, but the 37 and Paul
the 33
touching. Jeez Louise, 37 and the 33 touching 3 wide underneath David Buell and Stephen Neal here.
Stephen Neal falling through the field. Those tires starting to catch up with him, as he's also all around these guys as the 37 and the 52 of Buell get together a little bit on the exit of the corner there. Yeah, Steve Neal, oh, those old tires really coming to bite him right now. It's hard to watch. He was having such a good run. Up front, too, you have Kyle Lynott trying to make a move on Jax Duvall. I believe that's for second place. Finley actually losing that position to both of them, and Medina is starting to work the way through the field. In front of him also is Jose Medina, and Jose Medina is 1 spot away from the AM win. As you also see, Milliken has entered his name into the conversation. Another AM driver is Milliken. Milliken looking there for 4th place. He's now in, for 5th place. So we have all types of new contenders here for the AM win, and both Medinas are here.
The 37 and 33 collide, and the 37 is going to go towards the inside wall.
Big hit for the 37.
Paul's
and we'll likely go under caution.
Yeah, Paul's going to be able to hang on and not maybe get too much damage. You might have hit that outer wall, as Paul, once again, just can't find his way out of trouble. And it's no fault of his own there. It's just wrong place, wrong time there, as the 37 just kind of sent it in there and got into the 33.
Yeah, I saw that 37 a little bit out of sorts earlier in this run. I mean, a lot of guys just driving more aggressive than they have all race, and that can create situations like that. That's a blown engine for the 37, so that's going to be it for him. And this race has become such an attrition race, especially for Michigan. If you just finish this thing, you may have yourself a top 15.
Don't be a beaver nugget. Do you know what a beaver nugget is, Zach?
Hell is a beaver nugget?
I don't know. I feel like our friends, though, in the Midwest might be able to help us out. What a beaver nugget is.
Yeah, it sounds derogatory. But I wonder. But if you don't want to be one, do you think the 37 was just being one?
I think the 37 made a full circle and became the Nugget.
Yeah. Interesting. Well,
all right. Well,
up front.
Yeah.
Landry's race to lose, in my opinion, at this point, Kevin. He has done everything he needs to do, and the only thing he has to worry about is that just bunched the field back up, and Medina is in 6th place.
Do you think Kyle Lynott has any damage on that car?
I wonder.
He's got 9 lap-ish tires. We've had a lot of cautions. Just last minute, lap 70. But Kyle went in and pitted. 79. He's in 2nd place, but his pit stop was 23 seconds.
So maybe you got to fix them. We have seen Lynott in a couple incidents today. Nothing too serious. But he was the car that got into Mills and created that huge wreck. So I'm assuming he had some damage from that. The car looks good.
Got it all repaired.
Looks like it got washed.
Fast repair.
Straight up, dude. Thing looks amazing.
Car looks pretty good.
Yeah, he's fine. So Lynott's going to be a contender here. We've seen him, especially on the restarts. He has had tons of speed on the restarts, and he's made some pretty bold moves. He seems to be comfortable with just about any lane this track has available to you, which is a big thing to have here in Michigan. And you know Finley also. He's going to be hungry. Not sure what caused him to fall back to 4th there, but it looks like he did get back around Duvall, so just a ton going on up front.
Why this camera angle wants to say not switch over.
I know.
Behind the RVs though, because it
I've
gets
had
worse.
Mine have been doing the same thing. It's been so weird. I've had on my end too. My camera angle has just been like, nah, you want to see RVs, you don't care about the race. I've mostly just moved to blimp at this point.
Yeah, blimp is good. I love blimp, but I also, if you take a camera. Oh, we just got a car blowing up. Oh.
I just heard that. Well, who was that?
It must have been Smith. It must have been the 37.
Oh, I hate that noise. God, that noise brings back like PTSD.
Oh yeah, 37 just grenaded it there. So.
Owen's pit.
Oh, let's see. 8. Oh yeah, after probably hammering that wall. I mean, he hit that wall pretty hard.
You can see that right side of the car. That thing still has damage, still has some scuff marks on it. So Owen's likely understanding the win not in the cards anymore, so going to try to get some track position here with a healthier race car. So it's going to be 3 to go, likely a GWC here, which is a green-white checkered, and I think there's 3 attempts in this league, correct?
Correct.
So if we make it to the white flag, the next flag will end it. If we don't, we'll rack it up again, and we'll try it again until we can get it right with up to 3 attempts. So we'll see how this one goes. Getting ready to crown a winner here in Michigan in the BRL Round 4, the 5th anniversary race in honor of Dennis Puckett. And you know that is adding some extra motivation to everyone in this field to win a race with that much meaning. As it's going to be Landry, our control car, electing to take the inside this time. It's going to be Kyle Lynott, been up and down the field, but definitely fast all day. And Lynott's been on different strategies all day, but today, or right now, finally at the end, pretty balanced out with the rest of the cars around him, having a true shot at this win. And then the car I'm looking at too is the 3rd one on that outside row, and that's the 9 of Medina. This is just a typical race where Medina comes out of nowhere and steals a win. And here we go, getting ready to line it up for potentially the last time. And there goes Landry. Great restart. Lynott caught a little bit of sleep, but has his teammate Ajax the ball there to help him out. But that's still going to offer Finley a nice angle there, going through 1 and 2 to try to capture 2nd place. But that's exactly what Jason Landry had to do.
Yeah, Jason Landry off to it, but Kyle Lynott there falling down the middle, gets loose. He's going to get swallowed up by the field. It's going to cause 17 and Kyle Lynott run up on the outside. David's stuck there between 2 cars, not able to progress any way through to challenge that spot. As you see the 69 Michael Benton driving down to the apron.
Oh my goodness. Incredible save by Jerry Rose as well out of 2 there. Jerry Rose facing the inside wall and got to gather back up and didn't really even lose very many positions. Great save by the 51. As here we go to the white flag. The next flag will end the race. This thing is official, and it's Jason Landry who just needs to put together 1 more set of lap, 2 more sets of corners. But Finley is breathing down his neck. The rookie making a new impression here, looking to get his first win, but also his first AM win, and right behind him, the new pro of Jax the ball in the 84.
Well, the 212 gets loose there. Jackson might have a chance. Kyle Lynott battles back on the inside. Can Kyle Lynott make up any more positions here to salvage his day, as it looks like Landry's out to the races there. as the 988 dives down low underneath Jackson. That wonderful camera angle still plaguing me.
But yeah, there it is, and it looks like Landry doing what he has to do, and he's going to collect the win. It was a long day for Landry, but it ended the way he wanted to. Winner at Michigan, Jason Landry, second place, and AM winner. Finley, what a great race by the rookie. Third place, Kyle Anott. Fourth, Duvall. And fifth, Joey Stiers with an impressive recovery. Medina only able to get that thing up to sixth. Milliken, seventh. Eighth, Shelton. Ninth, belonging to
David Buell.
Yeah, Buell. And 10th, Jose Medina.
Yeah, and then rounding out your top 20, it's going to be Michael Serra, Paul Ferradani, Gerald Rose with a nice P13. Stephen Neal hangs on to the 14th spot after hanging on there with the low tires. David Owens with that damage on the right rear makes P15. Ricky Mandela bounces back to P16 after having that incident, bringing out the caution. Mike Benton, though, doing a great job staying on the lead lap. It's going to be P17. Zach Clausen, Matt Schofield, Chris Smith is going to end up your top 20. And then you got Tommy Fox, Kevin Kyle, Jared Kelly, Nick Mills, David Brenner, Tim Darby, Joseph Vulpes, and Joseph Yanukis as your rounds out your 28. And then here you go, Jason Landry doing a moment of silence here for Dennis, as he's doing just a moment of silence here before any burnouts or anything. I know he wanted to make sure I got that on there, and he reached out to me to let me know what he was doing as he pays his respects there to Mr. Puckett.
Very cool there from from Landry. And man, it is hard to beat that 56 and that 9 week after week. Those two, just the class of the field, laying it down, showing themselves to be the two championship contenders once again. And now with that drop race coming in, things are about to get interesting. And this really, really cool gesture here by Landry.
Yeah, I'm trying to make sure it's live because I know he gives me a little.
No, it is. I'm still live. This is
okay.
It's a lengthy moment of silence.
I can't change camera angles right now.
Oh my gosh. I mean,
it's weird.
Sounds like iRacing.
Yeah, that's really weird.
Whoa. Oh, I can't either.
Did I quit? I might. Maybe I quit out.
I think the replay file ends here.
Yeah,
out of pure frustration.
Out of pure frustration. Sorry about that, Mr. Landry, but we did get you there. He does the burnout. Congrats to Landry. Yes, I did.
Sure, they were great burnouts.
Rage quit. Okay, Jason's at work right now, but he did write to me a little note, a little response that he'd like me to read. So let me just make sure what I'm reading here. Turn down the music just a little so I can concentrate. Okay, yeah, here we go. So first off, I want to say it was an honor to give up my pole position to Dennis that first lap. I didn't know him well, but when I first joined the league, he welcomed me in. For a while, I had a group I would chat with, but that team fell apart, and I was alone in a chat for a bit. Dennis jumped across while we were in a practice and noticed I was racing alone and asked me to join him and his friends. I got to know him a bit through those chats. A few times he reached out to me for my setup advice or lines for certain tracks, and I was really glad to have been able to return the warmth he showed me. The race itself, I practiced a lot for this event because I was a bit unlucky at Nashville. I was behind Medina on points. This guy is so good, you really need to put in a lot of effort to be able to match him. Today I decided beforehand I was going to go aggressive with tire strategy, and once David caught and passed me, I dove straight to the pits to get a big undercut. I had quite a big lead after the pit cycle, but got unlucky with a caution, and everything got reset, and I had the oldest tires, so I just tried to hang on. Cautions brought more cautions, and I just tried to stay out front with reasonable tires because I felt the mistakes at Nashville was going back too early, so I just wanted to stay out front as much as possible. Felt really good to get that win after last week, and on top of that, to give Dennis that pole position, and then converting the pole position through him into a win. This one was for Dennis, his brother, his family, and everyone that was close with Dennis. Thank you for you have brought this whole group together, and I truly love my Sunday mornings racing with everyone who is a part of BRL. Yeah, thank you, Jason, for that and that message. I know he's at work right now, and just thanks for him writing that as we have something to talk about for his win there. But
yeah, beautifully said too, and that story really is a very exemplary of the type of person Dennis was. So warm and generous, and yeah, I have Similar one too. He was one of the guys who gave me this opportunity, who let me in the booth and was gracious enough. I think that he actually stepped down in a couple leagues to give me his spot and give me a chance. And he was a mentor to me, and he's just never been anything but sweet and warm and amazing to me. And he's a huge reason why I get to do this broadcasting, which is truly a dream of mine. And I will always be indebted to him for that. And I'm also one of the guys similar to Landry, where I wish I had gotten to know him a little bit better. But the times that I did get to hang out with him, it was always a pleasure. And doesn't surprise me at all to hear that story from Landry. That truly is the type of person that he was. And that's beautiful. And yeah, I can tell you as someone who has been a part of a couple memorial races of his this week, it's a lot of extra motivation to go out there and get it done with that logo on the side of my car. And it really just felt magical, but at the same time, it's just been so motivating, and it's just lit a fire, I think, under a lot of these guys' butts to make them proud.
Yeah, well said, man. It's I like David Owens and stuff on Facebook. He made a comment about, like, you know, you never thought that losing someone that you might not have talked to so much, but just through gaming would affect you so much. And it's true, you know, we're all part of each other's lives in a small way. And you know,
it's a weird thing. Actually, I meant to piggyback on that earlier. Sorry. That's so true. I think a few people know I run that 44 ever team, and I always run that 44 ever decal. That was an old teammate of ours that passed away about a year and a half ago, and it was also pretty unexpected. He was diagnosed with cancer, and he was gone 4 weeks later. And yeah, I had never met him in person. I don't even know if I knew what he looked like, but I remember when it happened, just being really messed up about it, really destroyed for a while. And it really hit me. I was like, there's these guys that I've never met in person, but they know more about me and they talk to me more than some of my best friends in real life, just through the virtue of how much time we put in this sim. And, you know, also then they know a lot about me that's very personal. There's only so much racing you can talk about in a 3-hour practice session when you're doing it every day with your team. And it hit me really hard then to realize how valuable these friendships are, how actually significant they are, and how big of a role they play in my life. It's better prepared me for how often this seems to happen in the sim racing world, which is truly terrible about it. But every time it happens, it just really does bring you back down to earth, and it reminds you that these people are family, and you spend so much time with them, and they really do genuinely mean just as much to me as anyone else in my life that I consider very close. I mean, you're a great example, Kevin. I met you in person at my wedding because I invited you to it, because our iRacing friendship is that deep.
Yeah, no, it's super cool. The community and being able to do stuff like that within it makes it even more special. And then, yeah, I just wanted to just read something that Dennis's wife posted on our comment on his Facebook page. I just said, basically, I said, rest in peace, Dennis. You'll forever be missed. It was a pleasure getting to learn the ins and outs of this awesome community you have built for everyone. Your number 12 will never be used by another. I wish for your family and friends to know how much you meant to us. Love you. And then his wife wrote back, thank you for the kind words about him. He may not have been the best driver on the track, as evidence of the many F-bombs I heard during his racing time, but he loved playing that racing game so much. Just to see and hear how many great friends he had made in the race community really warms my heart. And that was from his wife. And
that's beautiful.
That's really cool that she responded back like that, having a sense of humor too about it, and in a difficult time. So,
hey, just to let her know, oftentimes a lot of F-bombs mean you're good.
That's true. But yeah, shout out to like you said, we're gonna retire his number here at the Bonfire Racing League for the Cup Series, and I said, like, me and David Buell in the Truck Series, we'll work together and we'll do some type of memorial race for him, just to help donate or do whatever we need to do to help out with everything. And with that being said, though, Zach, we can go over probably the standings, because we got a big shakeup here with things, especially with the drop week happening. So David Medina is at for example, David Medina is at 535 right now total points. That's where he was last week after Nashville. But because
Wow.
this was his worst race, I think it's like he never raced this race, right? Because there's 2 drop weeks, and we're going to take the best 13 races basically that you've raced, and that's going to be your total points. So as you can see, a lot of moving and shaking. Kyle Lynott moving up 10 spots at 459. There's only a 5-point difference now between Jason and David as Jason takes over the lead there. And David Owens missed a race, but because of that drop, it's 3 races counted basically, and he's up to 468. And just take a little bit to just look over that list, as you can see a lot of stuff. But there's Brandon Shelton and Jack Staval in the top 7.
Yeah, that also is going to give us a new AM leader. I believe it's Michael Serra now, with Medina still in second. But yeah, what's really sticking out to me, or that second column that says the CHG, and that stands for change. I see +10 next to Lynott. I see +7 next to Owens. I mean, that's by virtue of that drop race. But that just really does go to show what that drop race does and how dramatically that changes these standings. And yeah, Landry now, our points leader. I mean, only by 10 points, but these guys, they are swapping that week in and week out. And now with that drop race counting, it's going to make things a lot more interesting. If you're David Owens, who just straight up missed a race, you cannot afford any more mistakes. If you're a Landry or a Medina, especially a Medina who hasn't really had that bad race yet this season, he still has that in his back pocket.
Right. That's what I was telling David. I'm like, basically, like a 6th place finish is his worst finish. So it's like crazy that got dropped,
Right.
Like for me, this week's going to be my worst. I think this one didn't even count for me because I wrecked out and got 22nd. So it's like, it's going to take, and even after there's 2 drop weeks, right? So next week, there's going to be 5 races, and still it's going to take your top 3, then your top 3 races. And then after week 6, then it'll be 4 races, kind of like that. So over the whole course of the season, your top 13 races, basically, think of it that way, is going to count towards your total points. So yeah. If you have any questions, let me know.
Yeah, and the best way to handle that as a driver is to pretend like you don't have it. To go in every week and not think, well, this will be my drop. Just try to do the best you can. And I'm sure David Medina would love a 6th place to be his drop at the end of the season. And that really is how you use that to your advantage. But it also, the longer you can hold on to those drops and know that you have only good finishes, the more aggressive you can be as the season goes on. So definitely going to play in a lot as this goes on, especially with 2 drop races. So we're going to have to see. But another great race today. Certainly our most eventful one in terms of cautions and wrecks and attrition. But wow, it brought the entertainment.
Yeah. And Zach, thank you for being here today and helping me get the broadcast done. I appreciate it as always. And Zach, with that, you got anything else there to say before we get out of here?
Let's fire our cameraman. And beyond that, amazing day. I'm gonna go watch some cup racing and then watch some NBA playoffs. It's gonna be a fun day of sports today, but that's all. This is always an amazing way to start it here in the Bonfire Race League. We didn't have a flyer yet, but please come check out the DDRL if you're available on Wednesday. We'll be at the same track, so if you enjoyed Michigan, we'll be there on Wednesday, and we'll be doing our last exhibition race before our season kicks off. So excited about that. That'll be in fixed seat trucks. Feel free to hit up me or Kevin on Discord. We can invite you to the server there. But beyond that, another amazing week here at BRL. Very, very grateful to be covering this league, and this league did an incredible job of honoring Dennis Puckett today, put on a show for him, some gorgeous paint schemes, and I think he'd be very proud, and I think he was enjoying watching that, looking down at us. So much love to the Puckett family, thinking about you guys, and I just want to tip my cap to all of BRL for how gracious they've been and how much respect and integrity they've shown, honoring this guy that meant so much to this league. So as we carry on through the season, we're going to continue to do that, and it's going to be with heavy hearts, but definitely with a little bit of extra added motivation. So love you, love the Puckett family, and love everyone in this league, and thank you all for joining us.
All right, guys, God bless you guys. We'll see you on the next one. We'll see you next Sunday. Stay tuned for all our social media stuff on YouTube and stuff, as we'll try to get some of that out for YouTube and the incidents. And we appreciate your support. Love you guys, and we'll see you next weekend.